The Rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.
Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all of my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you are a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you all this morning. Family, it's very interesting that the closer we come to the end, the more that you start to understand and see how things are revealing themselves. That's all I say. Just pray about everything. Pray about what you are listening to, who you're listening to. Pray. Ask the Most High to give you guidance and discernment. Pray. I understand our people have itchy ears. I understand our people grow to and fro, hill to hill. But if there's one thing I ask our people to do, pray about it. Every day when I get up, I know we're getting closer to the end because I feel it really does feel like, to me personally, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but it really does feel like every single day, as even more and more truth is exposed, it really is like our people just don't care. And maybe that is because people get an emotional attachment. And that's what has been happening with our people. I'm not here to try to promote my channel, get as many views as possible, get as many likes as possible. I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell the truth in this season that I'm here before the Most High brings me to somewhere else. Because I'm not looking at this place. I'm looking at things beyond this place. I'm looking at things beyond what we're just sitting at right now because we're not going to sit here forever. That's not. We're in a generation, and people may not like that we're in a generation. We're in a generation to where we are transiting. And because we're transiting, we're transitioning, we're moving about from literally one era to the next. I don't care what people say. Whatever they have to say, they have to be held in account between them and the Most High. And that's it. I will not fix my lips and say anything that's contradictory to the word of the Most High, no matter how many people get emotionally jazzed. No. I know it is hard for our people to understand these scriptures because there are always groups and elements that try to provide an emotional context. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be swallowed up. Time for you to move your tent pole. Gather your tent poles, gather the fabrics, and that is how it's going to be. Because if you didn't understand how the Most High works, nobody here has a safe ticket out of Babylon. I'm sorry, it's not. Whatever doctrine you want to follow is going to be the doctrine that you're going to have to hold to account to the Most High. You know what, Father? I didn't really want to follow your doctrine. I got emotional from somewhat this person was saying, and so I fed into that, and I went right back into the same thing that my ancestors went into. Don't fall in the same trap that's now designed for the Gentiles. Isn't that crazy how easily our people fall right into the same trap? The fasting for our people was a fasting to reveal. That fast was about 2 weeks ago or so. It has to be done. We have to fast. We have to have the Most High reveal and expose because here's the thing there's not going to be any fault found in Judah. I'm sorry. I'm not caring about any folks. I don't care what any Gentile says because you hear more destructive doctrine coming from our own people. Go ahead and get suckered right back in to the logic traps. And if you do, what I've said it, pray about it. Pray about everything that enters your ear and your eye gates. Pray about it. Pray that you are not counted for destruction. I pray that I'm not counted for destruction. But I also know how deadly serious this thing is because I have seen war. I have seen destruction. I have seen the ravages and the carnages of mangled bodies, of mangled steel, the smell of explosions. I look at judgment completely different because until you actually witness it, till you actually see it and feel it firsthand, people think that it's no big deal. No big deal. Not I don't need to worry. Nothing. And then that's how they get swayed into these doctrines. Yakoba and Teyu are holding a fast on December 31st. That is 3 weeks from now, December 31st. I'll have to get in touch with them to see what is going on, how they're going to do certain things. But boy, we have to really pray for our people because understand, if you didn't know that we're going into a different era, look at what's happening. And look at the track record of things that's happening. How many times are you going to be warned? Our folks love these wide gates. I'm sorry, we do. As a people, we do. We love to fall into the pit. We love it. But the enemy, the enemy sounded so good. And, the enemy sounded, he just connected with me. The enemy, I liked what he was saying. And I didn't realize it was a lie. I didn't realize, I heard what you all were saying, but, I kind of liked what they were saying because they know how to speak to your spirit of rebellion. Do you not think that that Satan knows how to talk to our people? How did we get here into captivity anyway? That's why I always have to ask folks, how do we get here? We heard the lies. We love the lies. We indulge the lies. So if this is the same thing that is going on in 2024, nearing the end of it, what do you think has happened over the course of this time? Let's use some deductive reasoning. Let's deduce. If you're awakening right now, what do you think the enemy is going to have? All of their fishers throwing out and casting that net. All right. Well, you may want to kick and scream, but I'd rather you kick and scream over here and we can direct your kicking and screaming so your kicking and screaming has zero power. Most High immediately brought me to this because we were talking about this, and here we go. It's always, always, always. I let the Most High just show forth. I let the Most High show out because the Most High is good. His word is good. His word is good. Not my word, his word. Not Yakoba's word, his word. Not anyone else's word. His word, not Ashanda's word, not Sister Eve's word, not Pastor Rick Fletcher's word, not Sister Gates the Holder's word, nor anyone else. It's his word. And all I can tell you is you all have to make a choice. You better choose ye this day, because you want to know why? Because Syria ain't playing. I laugh because I look at these commentations, I look at these presentations, I look at these arguments of what's happening in Syria, and they're not even close. It's going to get bad in Syria, folks. It's going to get bad because of Assad regime and them tanks are rolling into Damascus and they can't even understand. Their logic is flawed. They don't know. And I have to laugh because I'm like, yeah, they don't know. And they won't invite me onto their channels. And frankly speaking, I wouldn't even want to come on their channels. So you just started to know about the Middle East, what, 6, 7 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, 2, 3 years ago, 2, 3 days ago, 2, 3 weeks ago? I can literally show you publications that I wrote or papers that I wrote back in 2011. I thank the Most High for my niche and how this channel has shaped up. I know I'm not going to get a lot of visitors and things that nature. I know. I don't care. I know folks will lie on me. I know. I don't care. For those who have ears, let them hear. That's it. I always believed that it was going to be the Middle East. It was going to start with the Middle East and it was going to end with the Middle East because why? That's the closest that they could get to the actual land. They can't destroy the land because why? Because the Most High won't allow them to, especially in our awakening. I get it. It's up to us to get it. What are they going to do? They're going to fight amongst each other in Aelia Capitolina. Why is that? Because that was the battleground that literally Hadrian established. What's Arabs? Arabs are literally mixture. To do what? To provide confusion. For who? For us. Why? To ensure that we would never really understand where the promised land is, because that's why Jeremiah 50 says we would be looking thitherward to find out where our land is at, because people would say our land is over in that dry, arid place. They'd be saying it's over here, it's over there, it's over there. And now understand that they're not going to write down where the land is at, especially with our people that are there in the land that understand the land and have understood the prophecies concerning us. Why would you share anything with a people who's still in captivity? Doesn't make any sense. Boss, I found out where the land is, boss. Boss, can you give me my 6-figure salary, boss? 6-figure salary. I shows was good. Throw in a Mercedes, please, boss, for me and my wife and my children. Please, boss, throw in some of them Harry and Davids. Like that, boss. What other dainties, boss? Oh, can I get a gift certificate to Red Lobster, boss? I sure love that lobster with the butter sauce. Oh, boss. You's gonna enjoy it. Why? When people ask, Brother Carrots, do you know where the place is? I would always say, I have. My opinions. But why? Why would I even want to? I mean, shout out to Brother Yakoba. He put that on out there for our people. But I know that when you put things on out there, guess what? It's not just going to be our people. It's going to be our people and our people that submit to this place, that submit to their captivity, that love their captivity. Don't think that we don't have our people that love this captivity. I've established myself in this captivity. I know what my 401k is looking at. I see how my retirement accounts, I see how my Roth IRAs will be maturing in the next 5 years. So boy oh boy, I cannot wait. I got to keep the system in place as long as possible, no matter how much this system is crumbling, because they cannot control what's happening with BRICS. People can't even understand what BRICS is literally there. People can't understand. They can't even understand what Trump said about BRICS less than 2 weeks ago. It is so completely over their heads. Did you know that Egypt is part of BRICS? So is Ethiopia. So is Algeria. So is UAE. Gee, do you know that Saudi Arabia, even though they declined the BRICS invitation, they said that they would be working heavily with BRICS? I wonder why. Because Saudi Arabia knows that if they had said something to be more concrete and in the affirmative, then Mohammed, then Ben Salman, MBS, would be and be gone and be deleted. Do you understand that that's how this world works? Everything in the Middle East is literally hanging off of a toothpick. It's the fragility of the system because that's how it has been made. It has been made to be fragile. Yesterday, I saw something the other day. It was funny because it was like late at night, later. I saw the article and I just kind of, I'll see some things. I'll kind of glaze over things, unfortunately. But I saw in one of the articles, I think it was conveniently leaked, that the Syrian rebels had eyed Jerusalem. Again, when I see stuff like that, I always have to look at what is being said, who is saying it, and things of that nature. So I have some stories. We'll kind of get into we'll get towards that. But before I go and veer too much off course, let me get here in Isaiah chapter 60. I want to get that read real quick. Isaiah chapter 60. Give me a second, folks. Let me kind of get some. Let me get some of this administrative stuff up on in here. Hallelujah. I put my link on out here, family. If y'all want to jump on out. I know there are some things said within the last 24 hours. Please, in my channel, I do not mention people by name. I do not, especially when it is in the community. So, in that reason, I let the Most High deal with people. That's how I do it. So, if you do decide you want to come on up here, please be respectful of the channel and the ground rules for a reason, because no matter how much our people are in error, we still have to pray for our people. We still have to love our people. Because again, it's not up to us to change anybody's heart. We do not have the physical capacity to do that. So all we can do is literally pray for our people and let the Most High continue to deal with our brothers and our sisters. That's it. I got work that I got to do on this wall. If they're messing up the wall, the Most High he'll fix them. He'll take care of them. And that is what I have to say, family. We have to understand these distractions are coming. Understand, literally, I have to laugh because 2 months ago, I was dealing with a big distraction, but I wasn't coming off my wall because I understood this distraction is because a season is changing, and the season's changing because something big is getting ready to go down. That is how we have to understand as a community. If this is happening and that's happening, you have to look at people's fruits. You have to. If you get swayed by then I'm sorry, go with that person. I don't care. I know what the Most High told for me to do, and I'm going to do it. That's who I am. That's how I act. That's my mannerism. If you haven't been on this channel for a while, if you haven't seen me in Building Bridges, if you haven't dealt with me in QTUA, that's how I am. I take the mission of the Most High very seriously. I haven't just come out of nowhere. Over 1,000 videos on this channel. Over 1,000 videos on this channel. You can kind of see the body of work. And that's not to brag on me, but it's to let people know this is what I do, and that's how I do it. I'm up here when I'm feeling good. I'm up here when I'm feeling bad. I'm up here when I feel absolutely miserable. But I'm doing what the Most High is telling me to do. Because why? Because we do not have that much time left. So if people get purged out by the Most High, then they get purged out. Hallelujah. If you want to put out your survivor candle, that's up to you. If you want to vote yourself off the island, that's up to you. But again, I understand we do not have much time left, and not just me saying it. And now you're seeing the whole world looking at it. And they're looking very, very perplexed. They're looking like a deer literally stuck in the headlights, staring at the headlights. But why is this? Let me get into here. Let me get back into this. Isaiah chapter 60. Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahuwah is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahuwah shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense. They shall show forth the praises of Yahuwah. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams at Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with an acceptance of on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far. To where? To bring them back to the land. Their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahuwah, thy Elohim, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy on thee. He's going to bring us back. He smote us to do what? To utterly scatter us to four corners of the earth. So we're going to be brought back to our land. I'm sorry, Aboriginals. I'm sorry, anyone else that's preaching a different doctrine. Whatever you're saying, that's between you and the Most High. But I'm going to tell you what this word says. Therefore, thy gates shall be continually open, are open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought. For the nation that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. We just saw this in what? 2nd Ezra chapter 15. The glory of Lebanon shall come into thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahuwah, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many nations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shall suck the breast of kings. And thou shalt know that I, Yahuwah, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. Why? Because that is the salvation of the kingdom. Because why? Because we're building the Most High's kingdom. We're getting up on out of here to then rebuild the walls that have been burnt down, because we're going to be gathered back to our lands, and we're going to be a people, and we're going to be reestablished by Yahuwah himself, so that all the nations may see that. Because why? Because there has been no might in our hands to do any of this, to accomplish any of this. We just read this in 2nd Ezra chapter 15 yesterday. But thou shalt call thy wall salvation and thy gates praise. Isaiah 60 and 19. The sun shall be no more light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but Yahuwah shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy glory, or in thy Elohim thy glory. The sun shall no more go down, neither shall the moon withdraw itself, for Yahuwah shall be an everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. The people also shall be, or excuse me, thy people also shall be all righteous. Because why? Because we're going to go through some things. We have to experience things. Our righteousness is a process of refinement. The Most High is refining us in every trial, in every circumstance. We are being refined for His glory, because that is righteousness. How did you make it through this? How did you work through this? How did you go through this with this toil and that toil, with this struggle and that struggle? I don't know. The Most High just did it. I trusted in Him, and I walked through it, and I moved through it, and it was the Most High that brought me through this. The people also shall be all righteous. When we're back in our land, because why? There's a remnant. Isaiah 60 and 21. They shall they shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. We are coming back into the land that the Most High has for us. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahuwah, will hasten it in his time. That's what the Most High Word says. I, again, I have the link on out there if y'all want to discuss, but I want to bring something. I Let me go into this. I like to go into these oldie, I call them the oldie but goodies. If I can type. Here we go. Let me get into here. Zephaniah. Let me enlarge this. Zephaniah chapter 3. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction, she trusted not in Yahuwah, she drew not near to her Elohim. Her princes within her are roaring lions, her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bone till the morrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. The just Yahuwah is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to the light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. I have cut off the nations. Their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste, that none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, that there is none inhabitant. I said, surely thou wilt fear me, thou wilt receive instruction, so their dwelling should not be cut off. Howsoever I punished them, but they rose early and corrupted all their doings. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahuwah, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Zephaniah 3 and 9. For then will I turn to the people of pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahuwah to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, even the daughter of my dispersed, Jerusalem, Zion, the house of Judah, shall bring mine offering in that day. Thou shalt not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in their pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahuwah. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. For Yahuwah hath taken away thy judgments. He has he hath cast out thine enemy, the king of Israel, even Yahuwah, in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil any more. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. Yahuwah, thy Elohim, is in the midst of thee. In the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful from for the solemn assembly. Who are of thee to whom the reproach of it was a burden? Behold, at that time will I undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith Yahuwah. That was Zephaniah chapter 3. Shalom, troublemaker.
What's up, Karis? How's it going?
It's going, brother Yakoba. Oh my goodness, it's going. We're gonna have to speak in some code words because isn't this amazing that all this is going on as things are moving within our community? Wink,
Oh
wink,
yeah.
wink, wink,
Wink, wink.
wink, wink.
What's interesting is that at the point where we seeing so-called drones and UFOs all over the planet, stuff we've been talking about for what years now, right? Now it's
Mm-hmm.
happening. And now we got people saying, hey, we're not getting out of here, right? I'm like, really? It's like I'm seeing all these prophecies come to pass. I'm like, y'all don't get it yet, you know?
I was trying to look for the video. J0 sent me the link. I tried to look. It said that video got removed or was private, something. But I saw it yesterday, and I'm just like, huh? It's to me, it's like the more that we get closer to that inevitable conclusion, the more that things get exposed because it is what it is, folks. Folks don't want to leave out of here. And I can look, we can give you scriptural basis after scriptural basis. I don't know what else to say. How do you,
That's what I'm saying,
how, yeah, unless it's just like, okay, well, thank you, Father. You already have something, that you need us to work on, and we just need to work on that. You know what I'm saying? Look,
Yeah.
for this time, this was the time. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. And now we're moving on to something bigger and better because understand the way the Most High works is that you talk, you talk, you talk, you talk, and then guess what? Then you do. Bam. Once you do, then guess what? Then it's demonstrated. And then once it's demonstrated, then it's right before people's eyes, and then they can't say nothing to you. Is that a fair synopsis, Brother Yakova?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm gonna say that for me, I guess, we always say we're a ministry of truth, right? And we adhere to that. And people get upset when we stand for truth, right? And I'm like, do you prefer to lie? Do you really prefer to lie? And what really gets me is like, I see what's happened to our people over the centuries, and it's like we're at the point of being delivered. You know what I'm saying? We at the point of going back home and being blessed. And the Bible even says in Jubilees 23 that we gonna live a long life and all of that stuff. I'm like, we gonna have the blessings back on us. I'm like, really? I'm like, you want to stay in Babylon? I'm like, and then it's look, and I'm watching, like my uncle, he's in the hospital again because he got the lollipop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing all these people dealing with this stuff, and I'm like, if the Most High don't come, we in trouble, right? And it's like I'm not trying to force anything, but it's like the scriptures are clear.
Can I give you a 1980s cartoon remix theme song?
Okay.
We're standing for the awakening. Whenever there's trouble, Hebrew Yahuda's there. Hebrew Yahuda, real Yahuda heroes. Hebrew Yahuda's there. From G.I. Joe. Hebrew Yehuda.
Oh, okay. I knew I recognized it. I'm trying to place it.
Hebrew Yehuda.
That's his polite way of saying that your voice sounded terrible. Oh my gosh.
It is. But you want to know what?
Shut up.
But you want to know what?
He said nothing.
We're
He
fighting
said
for the
nothing.
awakening. Whenever there's trouble, Hebrew Yehuda is there. Do we say do we say go Yah, right? Go Yah. That's what it feels like, man. It's like, man, we have to take up them spiritual arms. We have to fight against these principalities that's literally on our people. Because really, who's going to be able to do that?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and I'm sorry. I don't know how far along we are in this. We don't have much time.
Nope.
Can I say something in regards
Yeah.
to what brother Yakoba said in
You
regards
can't
to
say nothing, Sister Chantel, because you've been an incognito. You've been hiding. You don't
I,
text me no more or nothing.
oh, so I was actually giving your ear a rest.
I like your
I'm not
conversations.
really. I
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes feel like as if I wonder if his ears are bleeding.
No,
Because
I
sometimes
enjoy
I
our
just
con- I
okay,
enjoy
all
our
right,
conversations. Yeah.
okay, cool. Then yeah, I'll keep it coming. Remember you said no take backs. But yeah, I wanted to say something in regards to what you were saying about your uncle and about people not recognizing and just not wanting to leave. And I'm going back to Psalms 137, and it said Psalms 137. It says, excuse me. Verse 5, it says, if I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my joy. This is where we find ourselves. This is
Come on
the
now.
elders that are sitting, where it says that they were sitting under the willow tree lamenting because the youth are like, we love Babylon. This is our home. What are you talking about? This is where we've been. And the elders doesn't necessarily just mean age, especially not in our time. Not it where it it means age, but not necessarily, in terms of your how old you are, but in terms of where you are, your awakening, who you are. Because most of us are still, you've got old people who are, old in years, but they love Babylon so much. And then you've got the younger ones who are like, I can't stand it here. I want to leave. So it doesn't necessarily equate to just the age, at least not in this time frame, not where we are today, but I just wanted to, for me, it's like, it just, that verse, that chapter, it's so much in it, but those two verses, it's like, the back in those days, in the first Babylon, they didn't want to leave. They loved it. It was home for them, and at the end of the day, the Most High did say that that was what was going to happen. But we find ourselves in the same predicament where we try to tell friends and families and the rest of our people to wake up, and it's like, even so, more so now that they can see that things are just getting really weird and dangerous, and they still keep running to the system as if the very same system that trapped us here is going to help us. The very same system that is deleting us is going to save our lives. And I'm like, the whole thing about the lollipop, for me, I'm like, I keep coming back to, they just destroyed one of our brothers in front of the whole world, and then they turned around and said, oh, by the way, take this thing because we want you to live.
Exactly.
I mean, I keep telling people that, why would you trust these same people who literally deleted one of our brothers? It's like, what really, let me tell you what's terrifying. And I think we all know and we all saw it. They no longer care that they're being recorded anymore. His face when he, do you know what his face looked like? You remember Anaconda and John Voight's face? I can't remember. I think it was when he was fighting. What's his name again?
The snake or yeah.
No, the brother. What's his name? The rapper. I forgot. Oh, man, my head is just
Ice
gone.
Cube. It was Ice
That's
Cube.
it, Ice
He was
Cube.
the character
And
in
he
that,
had
yeah.
this sneer, this look on his face, like a grimace on his face. That's the same kind of look that this troglodyte had when he had his knee on our brother. That's the same look. Like, I don't care who sees me. I can do whatever I want. And then they tried to do everything they could to try and make out like, oh, he didn't really delete him. Most prosecutors would love to have that version of evidence get dropped in their lap, but they skipped around all around the whole thing, and I'm like, the rest of the world is looking like, did you not see what we all saw? We saw this. What are you doing? You know, the funny thing is, the first people to come out, now they have their issues or whatever, but the first people to come out and speak against what happened was actually Iran. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was Iran.
Yes, they did. Iran did say that. They
were like, what are we just seeing? And you as the same people that want to talk about human rights. And China was like, hold on. What? You can't say nothing about Uyghurs to us.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say nothing about nothing no more.
It wasn't just Uyghurs. It was, remember, they were getting mad about China and the way that they were enforcing COVID, the cookie.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
And I still look, brother Jacob, how many videos have you been getting? Or how many emails you've been getting from YouTube that everything is being, demonetized?
Oh yeah. I mean, they demonetized me 2.5 years ago, I guess.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. So. Oh, can't use that. Can't use that video. Can't use that sound. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it was Iran. And now think about it. Now think about where Iran is at right now. You realize that Iran is in a much more comfortable situation than it has ever been in the last 20, 30 years. Iran is part of BRICS.
Iran is Iraning. They're sitting pretty. They are sitting pretty like, say something. I dare you. Say something. I find it funny.
Was build up their military. That's the best thing they did.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And I would say sponsor Duran. And Iran.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. I knew it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to go there. But I mean,
I can't get away.
I can't get away. What is it? What is it? That Mediterranean, Eastern Mediterranean nation say that they can't get away. Oh my goodness. But now you have BRICS, and now you have Egypt. I told you, folks, listen, I'm putting together my fantasy draft. This is my my end time army fantasy draft. Look, I got Egypt on the draft board. Stop playing. People are like, I laugh because a lot of these places I have gone to. I've gone to UAE. I've gone to Saudi Arabia. I've gone to Jordan, and I've been to Egypt many a times. And Egyptians,
it's about to get blessed as well anyway.
And sorry. Egyptians will let you know, right, why and how they look and they view us. They know who we are. Mm-hmm. The Egyptians know who we are. You go and you have an honest conversation with an Egyptian, they know who we are.
The real Egyptians.
Real Egyptians. I.e. black Egyptians. I.e. not them Hellenized Egyptians.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's a prophecy in the Bible that talks about both Israel and Egypt being blessed together. People don't seem to remember that because they also went through their version of a captivity as well. And the Bible does, I can't remember where it is. I remember seeing it. I need to find it again. But there is a prophecy that says that they too will also be blessed. And for me, the way I see it is that I know it's nothing to do with those, as you said, Hellenized, those people. It's the ones who have been constantly put in the shadow, just like us. The way I see it is that most people, melanated people, are going to be the head again, with us, or at the very least the shoulders, with us being the head. There is a like you've been saying, Brother Yakoba, there is an order, a hierarchy. The problem is that these people don't like that because they know where they're going back to. You are going to be, imagine you wake up and realizing that you're going to be back at the bottom again.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly where they were. You will be the head and we will be the tail again. You know, that's a hard pill for them to swallow.
Yeah,
It's a hard pill.
Somebody brought that on up. I'm sharing it right now. This is Isaiah 19, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahuwah rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. They've done that. They've done that since the time of what? When Christianity came into Egypt, right? Alexandria and things of that nature. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. If you don't know a thing or two about Egypt, Egypt has the Egyptian Christian Coptics, which makes up about 15% of the population, and they also have 85% of their population in Islam. But they do go hand in hand. But that was because they literally have been fighting one another. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, which was Europe, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahuwah of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and the flags shall wither, the paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither. They had a very robust water population in Egypt. They'll even let you know, look, 2,000 years ago, the Nile was a lot bigger. There was a lot more stuff. They'll let you know that.
Well, we know that from the pyramid. When you look under the pyramid and you see, come on, we already know that these pyramids are engines. They're not flipping tombs, for crying out loud. With the amount of pomp and ceremony that the ancient Egyptians had, that steep fall, what they're going to do, they're going to carry the sarcophagus with all the ceremony of that they have with the kings and everything, and then lower it down there for it to just shoot down. Come on, like you can't even stand up in that. So these are engines. But when you look at the inside or the bottom of that, it has like a chute where it taps into the Nile River, which is now obviously dried up. But it was basically, they had hydro energy. They were using water as energy, right?
Well,
yeah.
Let me finish this on up, because I do have a question for Yakoba, especially when it pertains to his book, True Jerusalem. If you haven't bought the book, if you haven't purchased the book, True Jerusalem by Yakoba Iveo, please do so. It is an Amazon bestseller. Let me try and get this on up for you. There you go. This is there you go. I dropped that link. That's the link to True Jerusalem. Buy that for a unawakened Hebrew that celebrates Christmas. Put that in the stocking stuffer.
I knew you was going to say that. You beat me to the punch.
Put that in the unawakened brother, sisters stocking stuffer.
There's their perfect Christmas present. There you go.
This Christmas, I'm going to have you wake up. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's the best Christmas gift that I can give you, is to be awakened.
Exactly. I'll wake you up to your last Christmas.
last Christmas, I got the book from Yakoba, but the very next Christmas, it was gone away. So yeah, and let me kind of bring this into this perspective, because there's a lot of spiritual meat and potatoes here. This is Isaiah 19:19. Let me continue this, and then Brother Yakoba, I want to kind of get your perspective in this. I'm going to scroll down here to verse 20. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahuwah of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto Yahuwah because of of the oppressors. He shall send them a savior and a great one. He shall deliver them. And Yahuwah shall be known to Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know Yahuwah in that day, and shall do sacrifice and oblation. Yea, they shall vow a vow unto Yahuwah and perform it. And Yahuwah shall smite Egypt. He shall smite and heal it. And they shall return even to Yahuwah, and he shall be entreated of them, and he shall heal them. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. In that day shall Yasharel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land, whom Yahuwah of hosts shall bless, saying, Blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Yasharel, Israel, mine inheritance. Brother Yakoba,
Yeah.
what say you on this? Especially as we're kind of seeing this timeline unfolding.
Well, theoretically, I'm not convinced that I'm not convinced that the Assyrians that we think, like right now, we think Assyria is in Iraq. Maybe, maybe not. We don't really know, right? And we know the Egyptians were black people. So if we're talking about the Egyptians, we're probably talking about the ones who are black, who are living in the ghettos of the, modern day Egypt, and some of them that exist in the Sudan. And so, with modern thinking, we're always thinking that it's those light colored people that's there. But I think it's dark skinned folks, right? So that's what I think it's probably applying to, because they've been oppressed too, because they look like us, right?
I agree with that. That's exactly what I was saying. I agree with that.
So understandably, let's take a look at this. Could the Assyrians, biblically speaking, and today, could the Assyrians be the Sahel nations?
I don't think so. Reason being, and I don't really know, but I don't think so, because when we look at the old maps, we know that the area where Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and them are, it was Lamnim, right, which was inhabited by Jews. And so the Assyrians really could be anyone from up north, right, up by Libya area, or maybe even over there by Mauritania. But I don't really know. I've been doing some tracking down, and like the Tuaregs. The Tuaregs claim to be Philistines, right? And so if people read my book, they'll understand where the true promised land is and why they ran into it, all these people. And but I think a lot of things are happening and will happen, and it's going to go over everybody's head, because why? Just like everyone's looking at the dirt in the Middle East and thinking that's our home, that's not it. It's the same thing with the people, right? The Syrians and all of the enemies and all this stuff, even like Syria, right? I'm not convinced, right? I'm not saying it's not, the biblical Syria, but I don't know. Right? It takes more investigation because they have moved things around.
So do you think that this is kingdom, falling against kingdom, nation against nation? Because I look at it like this: even if you were to look at, I'm a history nerd. I enjoy the channel Kings and Generals. I enjoy watching those 4 or 5 hour segments that they have of the Alexander and things of that nature. And just recently they released a video within the year, and it was funny because when they released the video, you could see the Greek names of the Egyptian and what they would have as southern Greece, southern Greek areas. And I saw this, don't quote me on this, but they have it like Herasopolis or something, Herapolis. And I saw that, and I just, I'll see certain things and it won't really register, but it's like, wait, they didn't even recognize Jerusalem at that time. And the thing was, it wouldn't have been recognized as Jerusalem at that time, because at that time was still Greek. And this was during the time where you had the Seleucids, the progenitor, one of the generals of Alexander. You also had Ptolemy that were fighting, Antiochus that was fighting, and those were all Greeks. The Macedonian heirs, even what they don't tell you even about Turkey. Turkey was Greeks. Turkey was just a Greek empire. And the Greek empire even spanned into, you have modern day Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia up into the Caucasus. And then you have another, subgroup. But they don't like to say that those cities, those Phoenician, or those isles of the Gentiles, those Gentile groups were all over the Mediterranean, was all over what? The water. They were a water people. And their logistical support could only go so far into sub-Saharan Africa. And if you've ever traveled in that area, sub-Saharan Africa, if you've even been to Saudi Arabia, if you're not over transiting by the Red Sea or by a water source, you're not going to make it. You're going to perish. And so I had to think about that, and I had to laugh because, right, Aelia Capitolina was what Rome had renamed that area. And if I was Rome, I wouldn't want to have a holy land that far deep into the sub-Saharan and in a remote area over 2,000 miles away from me. I wouldn't want to do that. I would bring that up in a place that, really you can get to within about, 2 or 3 days worth of travel on ship, and you can have that renamed.
Yes. It's so funny because you're saying it, that's exactly how I was seeing it. Like what they call in that place, it was nothing more than it was a Roman fort. It was like another headquarters away from home.
Yes. Yes.
It was easy. It was easy because it gave them access to other places.
Exactly. So what you would literally see it was just a modern day embassy. Right?
Yes.
Those are just embassies, right? You have that to do what? To have trade. So then your trade can then go to the Roman Empire. That Roman Empire would then be Rome proper, right? Italia, the Idumea. Just like with Alexandria, how many Alexandrians do you literally have all throughout the world? Shoot,
Loads.
even in DC, even in Washington DC, on the other side of the river, on of the Potomac. One side is Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. The other side of the river, south of that river, is what? Alexandria, Virginia.
It's kind of like it's almost like it's their fingerprint. It's the same thing with, and yeah, I'm sorry, Jacob, I'm going to bring his name up. It's also with what TCA brought up like years ago. I'm sorry, don't hate me for bringing his name, but it was also like what TCA said with the whole. He was talking about how the Gentiles, or the what are they called? Another fingerprint of theirs was the name knew this, knew that. Everywhere they went, they renamed something that they had in a previous place, but they just put the name new. That's why you have New York, New Hampshire, New Jersey, new this, new that. They're from here, but you have it over there. And I wouldn't be surprised if the names here were also in the Roman. I mean, this country was part of the Roman Empire anyway. But like you said, Rome proper, but just with a more Latin word, Latin name. I imagine if you actually research that, you'll probably see that a lot of these names were from other Roman, if not Roman.
Greco. It would be Greco-Roman.
Yes. If it wasn't from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go on. No, go on, because you're pretty much saying what I'm thinking anyway.
Because Rome didn't really do a lot of great naming conventions. A lot of what Rome would do was they would just have the same that the Greeks would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rome, in my opinion, was a little bit more intellectually lazier.
They remind me of another nation. I'm not going to say who because it's dangerous. They like to copy what.
Yeah.
What is it? They take it and they pattern it and they try. Now the funny thing is that a lot of them, the American officials were complaining about said country, but I laugh because I'm like, ain't this what you've been doing to us? So but there's a lot of that going around, like, and to be honest with you, the place where they get most of it from is from us anyway. So what we do, they take, and then the other nation that we shall not speak its name takes from them, and they get mad, and it's like they wag their finger, and then they try to, then they got upset when this nation joined with another nation, and it's like, yeah.
But what do they always do? So here's another big point, right? What do they always do? They always try to in order for, and they learned this in Babylon, right? In order for things to be successful, they would always transplant. What happened in Babylon? The northern kingdom of Israel was what? Transplanted.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then in that transplant, then guess what? Well, we're just going to sit here and we'll just be here, whatever they named it, because we lost, our access to, Samaria. So could it be that their transplanting was over in what they call the Mesopotamian area? And hey, look, it's kind of like your home. It's just a little bit dustier. It's kind of like what you have. Yeah, you're by water. You have the Gulf of Basra. You have we could call it the Tigris. We could call it the Euphrates.
Do you know what's really funny when they call it the what's it called? The Fertile Crescent. I'm like, what?
Well, but that is the naming. What say you, Brother Yakoba, our resident expert?
What's the direct question?
What do you believe that the transportation was the direct result to provide legitimacy of those areas that had been named, to ensure that naming could be, I would say like this. It's not validated until you have a black person validate it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, this ain't really you can have a white person have a fried chicken restaurant as much as you want to, right? You can have the Colonel have a fried chicken restaurant be as good as it wants to be, but it's not validated until black folks say, man, that chicken was good.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was actually going to say, well, what are we seeing today? You just judge by what they're doing today and know that they don't change. The Most High said they don't change.
Exactly. So, Brother Yacoba, in that context, is that where we see, especially when you're seeing those videos of, well, Jerusalem used to look like this in, the late 1800s, early 1900s with this video. Is that, could we deduce that that's potentially something, I'm giving in terms of that scholarly, rhetoric. Is this the potential of what we have witnessed in history?
What, that they change things around?
Well, not only did they change things around, but then they would import our people into those places to then give it the legitimacy that it has changed.
Well, what I think happened is that that whole area, if you notice, is a trade route, right? Because of the Red Sea, just like today, and which is why the U.S. want to get control of Yemen and all of these places. So even back then, the reason why you saw some of the black folks, and we don't know if they were Israelites or Hamites, like in that video that I shared, was the early 1900s, that we had some of our people there or Hamites. We don't know because that's where they did trade, right? Because it's like a pathway from what they call Africa to Asia, right? And that's why they always call things Afro-Asian or Afro-Asian language. But you notice Afro's always first, which means it's an African language or African nation, right? Asia is secondary. They don't tell you that, right? And so, with our people or whether not our people, because I do agree with you that we validate everything, which is why from what I see, Rome really did spend some time renaming stuff and moving things around.
Yes.
Right. And so they want to make sure that we believe it first, because if we believe it, then everybody else can believe it. And I guarantee you, even with this awakening, right, give it like a few more years, white folks going to be on board. Everybody going to be on board. The more of us that wake up, they all going to be like they always knew, right? That's how they're going to act.
Is that going to be the Isaiah 60 moment? The Isaiah 60 moment? Oh, boy. They're telling the truth because we're seeing them do things over there. We're seeing them do this. We're seeing them do that. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're progressing
and their claim to fame, I think, as well. Well, we knew and did what?
Yeah, and some of them they knew, and that's why they're gonna get judged because they did know and they didn't say anything. Just like a lot of them, like I told you about the Muslim guy I met, who told me he been knew that we were the people.
Yeah, right? They all know.
So it's like they all know.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff is coming around because we're gonna rise, and that's like I was saying. I was reading Jubilees 23. 26 on, and it was talking about how all just like we read in what we call canon, the curse is gonna flip on them. We're gonna be blessed. All the blessings coming back to us. We're gonna live long. We're not gonna be old and wrinkly like I am now. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be living longer, and according to the scriptures, and it is gonna be when they look at us, they're gonna be like they're youthful. Right. And so when them curses flip, they're going to really see the blessings of the Most High and see that we as people, because they're going to see the youth. They're going to see the wealth. They're going to see the energy. They're going to see the peace. They're going to see the happiness. And but right now, that's why if you notice these people like Trump and all these other folks, right, they're all against us right now because they know their empire is over. They know it's over, and that's why they're pushing this whole UFO crap, right? Because they're trying to deceive everybody.
Yeah, I was going to touch on a little bit about the UFO.
I mean, look, it's big, right?
Brother Yacoba.
Hey, Garth, you're right.
Yeah, we do have Brother Garth, our resident UFO specialist,
and I, Brother Yacoba, I showed you. I don't know if you saw it, but what I see it like literally. In my house, like literally, I see this emanating light. It's been there for the past almost, like 6 years. Literally, there's just this light that's very low. It's not a star. It's not a drone. It stays there for literally minutes on minutes, literally even hours. And then, like, it just disappears. It comes and goes, but it could be in a different, like, it could be a different position in the sky, like at different times, but it's usually in that one place, and I literally see it, and I just like, that's not like that's not a plane.
So God, when did you first start seeing it?
I literally, as far as back as like 2017, I saw that. 2018, 2017, okay. I've been seeing these things, but now people are starting to see them more and talk about it. I just kept it to myself and just chalked it up to,
because he didn't want to sound crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's okay, Brother Garth. I've seen you
I see
on the teams meetings, and I've seen you with your aluminum tinfoil hat. That's okay. I have one too.
Right?
And I have one as well.
Exactly.
I got mine on right now. Can you hear it?
looking like what
I literally have foil right in my hands.
Isn't that the first step? Admitting you're a conspiracy theorist.
Remember that episode?
Okay, I said it
back in the day, the Mindy and Mork episode, and when he first came to Earth, he had that antenna helmet.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's Garth.
But do y'all notice an interesting thing? You notice with like during the time of the lollipop and the whole cookie stuff that. They didn't know where the cookie came from, and they were like, was it China, was it in a lab, was it this and that, right? Yeah. And so, but we all knew they were playing games, right? It was obvious, I mean, that they knew. It's sort of the same thing happening now with the UFO thing, right? Oh, we don't know where it's coming from. Ooh, these drones just flying over our heads. We don't know where they come from. Ooh, but guess what? They don't send no missiles up, no rockets, no nothing. They don't try to intercept it. They ain't doing nothing. But they act like they're confused.
Things are flying near like Fort Hamilton, near like like the Verrazano Bridge in Staten Island, and like different, what would they call it, Karis? High interest targets or whatever, or like that's like they're bugging out in New Jersey, and I think.
High value targets, because you wouldn't have high value individuals unless Garth, you're a high value individual. I'm telling you. You went over to Burkina Faso, Garth. They're trying to snatch you up in their beam of light.
Yeah, I tried to get the ancient Dogon, ways to, have UFOs just come on command.
Brother Garth got blessed by that king of the Mose on out there.
But see, you know why these drones are showing over New York and Jersey and over these military bases, because the script says that the aliens have come to save us from ourselves, from a nuclear war, and that's why they're building up this thing between us and Russia, and they're gonna come and say, well, they disabled our nukes and saved us from nuking the planet, and now let's go into the utopia, and our brothers from the space realm or whatever, they've arrived, right? And we're gonna build this galactic federation like in Star Trek. That's what they're trying to do. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, Star Trek has always been at their forefront. That's exactly what they want. I mean, you touched on that with the replicators and the replicators, and all the other stuff. And growing up, I thought it was the most amazing thing. I wanted to be part of the Federation. I wanted to explore space. I was a geek. I wanted all of that. And then when I realized, oh gosh, there's no space. We're stuck here.
Mr. Chantel, you wanted to be like Starbuck?
I did not want to be Starbuck. I wanted to be like what's that face from the original series?
Michelle
Nichols. Earth is a prison planet for the fallen.
Let me.
Yeah, and we're stuck with them.
Let me tell you what you want to be like, because I got it right here. I got the trailer right here.
Oh, brother from another planet.
Fair use.
It's Mars on the Hudson. It's Cheers Goes to Harlem.
Cheers goes to Harlem,
It's E.T. rides the Underground Railroad.
Want to see me make all the white people disappear?
125th Street next.
That was fantastic.
It's the brother from another planet.
What a
Man,
scene! He
classic.
make all the white
Classic.
people disappear. Oh my goodness,
Classic.
hilarious. Go ahead, brother RC.
Hey, what's going on, family?
Shalom.
Hey,
Hey, RC.
Hey, what's going on? I've been following you guys for 2016. It's been forever. And I want to apologize to Karis, 'cause I think I got blocked in the chat because he was going into the Milton, and I was really scared for him. So I started looking him up, and I ended up actually calling him, and I think he called me back, but I didn't answer. And next thing I know, I can't get on the chat. I'm like, man, 'cause I've been I've been following him for like 4 years. Like, oh no.
I tell y'all, listen, my policy is F around and find out. No, I'm just
Yeah, I bet. I don't blame you, man. You from the military too. I feel you. I was like, oh man, dude, cut me down. But so I was kind of crying for about 5 weeks, and I said, all right, I'll be all right. But but yeah, I want to apologize to you, brother, because man, I was just really worried about you, and you were having an issue with your car, saying you couldn't find the premium fuel. And I'm like, hey, all you got to do, because I'm an engineer, I'm an actual mechanical engineer. And I've been working on cars since I was like freaking 10.
Send me your resume through QTUA, please.
For what?
Send
Really?
me your resume. Yes. Mechanical engineers. Yes. We need all that. That's the only
thing. Man, I've been jobless for 7 months now. Elon kicked me out. So I'm like, Dad, I was working at Tesla, Honda, I'm top.
Get out of here. Send me that resume today.
Yeah, man. 25 years. 25 years, brother.
No, homie. No.
Okay,
homie,
man. I'll send it to you tonight.
You done really messed around and found out.
Hey, man, let's go. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go.
I can't say much. I can't say much because somebody on the chat here watching me because I can't.
Yeah, I feel you. Definitely feel you, man.
Yeah, I'm here as well. Calm down, brother Karis. No,
I can't say much. We on the
It's okay to keep things in, brother Karis. It's okay.
Let's connect, man. Yeah, I'm all over. Yeah, I'm on Facebook, man. I was on there while I was talking to my boy Garth. I think Garth Vader. We were going back and forth because I saw my wife when she went on her birthday, December 5th, and I was just like, she sent me this picture. And she's like, oh, look, I got a picture of the Big Dipper, and I'm like, babe, that ain't no Big Dipper.
That was like, what? Was that?
Yeah, that's me. That's me, Rob Clark.
Wait, so you're the brother I showed.
Yeah, man. I was going back. Yeah, brother. Yeah, that's me.
All right, let me.
And go ahead and scope me out. Go ahead and scope me out. Now you know I'm a real dude. I'm not.
No, before you get started, let me get another layer of this aluminum on my tinfoil hat so we can really go in.
Yeah, man. We gotta dissect this, man. So, but yeah, I mean, I took the close up, and that thing, I was like, oh my gosh, and she was shocked. Man, my wife is super. She's got 137 IQ. I mean, she's smart, and she couldn't believe that. She thought that was a big dipper. I said, it's not a big dipper. We went through all the little just a little, I guess what you call it, just codes and stuff looking, and it's just like she actually does front end software development too. So you got anything for that too? She's pretty sharp. So, yeah.
I can't say. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to. Send me.
We'll get it together.
Yeah, send me that email for real.
Most definitely, man. We're gonna send that to you. But yeah, we went ahead, and I was just like, man, I mean, this thing is glowing blue. It's like, it looked like it was radiant. She just took a picture. She didn't really hit the video. And I was just like, babe, this is serious. And then, Garth showed his video, and I was like, daggone. And then Redacted just did one not too long ago, with a few hours ago. And they're talking about these ships coming out of the sea. Like I'm thinking the abyss, like my boy Jacoba was talking about, off there was something he put together. And I think they actually showed Guadalupe Islands, and they're like coming out from that area. And then, that's the Bermuda Triangle area. And I mean, it's just like, and, my wife's like, yeah, that's where all the ships are always disappearing and stuff. Cause she's from Savannah, Savannah area. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, she used to hear about that stuff all the time. And it's just like, man, this is so serious. And then I'm thinking Project Bluebeam, like Aveo was talking. I'm like, it's so confusing. It's like, what is really going on? So, you try to like discern it and everything. And it's just, and as a man,
this is obviously though some kind of setup, right? I'm like, it's a bit obvious to me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, we're all, I'm 50, it's like we're at an age point where it's like we've seen a lot, and it's just kind of like it's like, man, you know, the BS meter be going off too, and it's like I don't know, but at the same time, you don't want to miss it because it's like, you know, you're looking at the Ezekiel's wheel and redacted. They literally had the Ezekiel's wheel, and it had the two. It's a sphere, and it had the two 90-degree opposed rings around it. And it's, I mean, it totally remind me. I think it was in Book of Ezekiel was talking about that, or was it Thessalonians? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, yeah, it talks about how the rings, and you can see it. I mean, you got to look at this video on Redact. I wish somehow I knew how to show it because this is the first time I've ever done the StreamYard stuff. But I mean, you go on that video for Redacted, and it literally shows you the two rings flying in the air, and then the guy Clayton, who's like one of the head, he's like the announcer or whatever on there. He's saying, you know, I mean, this is crazy. This is like biblical, you know. And I'm like, it's hard. And then the orb was a spear. Like somebody took a high-powered camera and was shooting at this orb, and it looked like an egg in a woman's womb. You know, it looked so organic, and it was just like. And then you could see them put the camera back down, like they're out there in the real world, and it was looking very convincing to me. I was really in shock and, you know, kind of geeked up.
Orb. That's what I see.
And
then sometimes it disappears.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta show this. Give me a second because
there's
a lot of things that we done missed in the 90s. I think we have a greater appreciation for right now. I'm gonna show this. Here we go. Jacoba just said this, that Prison Planet. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Fair use.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. The Exodus right there. I'm sorry.
Come on now.
Come on.
And you
stop,
brother, and your the two.
Come on. Yo.
Yeah, man. Take me back to college with this.
From the planet Stankonia.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I'm headed and the low was the starter. Something good. With me and drove the martyr through the hood. Just trying to find that hook up. Now every day we looked up at the ceiling, y'all.
And every day we're not looking up at the ceiling. Every day we're looking up at the sky.
Yeah, real talk.
For real.
For real.
Kara's bringing it back old school.
Yeah, man.
Come on. I mean, look, those are some things that we didn't even understand. They were just bringing that over to us.
Man. You know, and it's funny. I used to like that song by what I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight by Phil Collins back in the day. That used to be my jam. Like I'd be back designing cars, and it's just like, man, I feel that right now. That just, you know, it's coming from a straight up Gentile, but man, his music is just. It was just like, I can feel it calling in the air tonight. You know, it's like, I remember, don't worry. How could I ever forget? It's the first time, the last time we ever met. And it's like, it almost, to me, it sounds like, he's singing from the perspective of us as a people, you know, to the Edomites and what they've done to us. I mean, it's just, if you really go back and like, listen to that song, I was like, man, this can't be what I think it is. You know, it's just, and that's like in the 80s. And that song, I don't care. You can play it right now. It's a classic. It sounds so, it's just beautiful even right now. It's just powerful. And I just get like this rage of just, yeah, come on, Yahoo, let's do this. You know, when I hear that song, it's like, man. And they use it for the NFL Monday night.
People were awake, though. A lot of our people were awake. I was saying a lot of our people was awake. And I've always kind of believed that a lot of our people who are in the entertainment industry, I feel that they know a lot. And I think that another reason why they know a lot is because those people who are claiming to be us, I feel like as if they let them know. Like, it's almost like I'm going to tell you the truth, but just like, you know, there's certain things they do, they can't talk about in the public or so on and so forth. This will be one of them. And it's almost like a, you know, the kind of, go back to Africa kind of thing where I know you can't go. I know you don't know where you're going to go. you know that I really don't want you to go, but I'm going to say it just to rub salt in the wounds. I kind of feel
like reverse psychology. Yep.
Yeah, I feel that's what they do. I feel that they told our people who was in their spaces who they really are, or confirmed it when they found out and said, yeah, you are the people, but what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You say anything, I can literally disappear you and the whole family. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's how it is. Yep.
our people just, we sing, we write, we speak in code. That's what we do. And because we were dead asleep, in their sense, in you know, those people, they didn't even care, because it was like, it was an amusement to them, because we were so dead asleep as a people. They also knew that we weren't going to wake up. They knew they started, look, they do numerology, and the math just wasn't mathing for them from since 2014, 2015. That's when they started freaking out. There was things that was going on in their spaces. They were freaking out. And they knew that their time as ruling as the quote unquote people was coming to an end. So they knew that at some point, everything about who they are and who we are was going to come out. And it is. It is. So when you go back and you watch these films and you watch these music videos and you listen to the things that our people are saying, you're like, oh, they were talking about us. Yeah, because we're awake now, so we can see what they were talking about. It's just like, what's his face? I always forget his name, where he's talking about telling that Edomite about how you're a virus. You stab us in the back and then say, and then pretend like the knife, like we did it. And then he was like, the guy turned and said, I think I'm going to be sick now. Like, of course you're going to be sick, because the truth, Esau, your skirt has been lifted.
That's
the
right.
embarrassment of who and what you are has been revealed to the world. Us telling them who they are and revealing that we see you. You're
Emperor
not
has
covered
no clothes
anymore.
Yep.
Right, exactly. All these fairy tale stories, I really do believe it was written by us. I think the original Brothers Grimm was us. I think they were Israelites. I really do. I mean, they whitewashed them. What's his face? Bass Reeves. So you go back. I mean, when you actually listen when you go back and check fairy tale stories, even the story of Cinderella, come on now, can we actually realize that story is talking about Yashara as a whole?
Yeah.
These stories.
Before you get deep into that, I want to make sure I have this on here. Fair use, but this is from Redacted. Thank you, Brother Yacoba, for this.
That's it. Yeah.
The wheel within the wheel. So we're gonna take a look here.
Other eyewitnesses seeing these sort of like wheel within a wheel, like something like right out of the Bible. Look at these. This is over New Jersey. Does that look like some sort of any kind of a drone that you've ever seen before? Well, the problem is we don't know because no one's telling us.
Y'all done made me use all my Reynolds foil wrap, and that was the Sam's kind. That's extra thick, extra rolly. I have it all over my body. I'm just cringling up here.
You got the gold stuff.
Man. And let me follow that up with this link. This is from Brother Garth right here. Brother Garth was almost had his UFO experience.
Man, that thing has been there for years. That's not even a surprise to me. It's like
they will not beam you up. You want to know why, Brother Garth? Because you are a Yahudeen. So
you know what's funny? Because I'd be yelling at it, Brother Karras. I'm not even joking. I'd be like, Father Enoch warned me about you. I know what you are. I just yell and just like you like quote scripture.
I was almost taken. I'm not kidding. I was almost taken years ago in my own bedroom 3 times.
Here we go. This is from Brother Garth, the green light.
It's not a star. So you brothers and sisters are not crazy. You could see it everywhere, all over. And just whoa, you saw that? It just disappeared.
Oh,
That crazy?
Yo. You see it? Look.
That's nuts, man.
It's been chilling there in the same spot. That's not a plane. It's not a star. So you brothers and sisters are not crazy. You could see it everywhere, all over.
Hashtag ain't no 400
Just like
year
that.
prophecy.
Come on.
Ain't no
Come
400
on, no.
years. We
Come
all
on.
need we all need to chip in so Brother
Bruh.
Garth can have the UFO mobile.
Ancient aliens Hebrew style. Ancient aliens Hebrew style.
And it's like, it's out there in the middle of nowhere. It's not like, who's sitting up there saying, "Oh, let's Project Blue Beam Brother Garth today." I mean, no one's even looking at this stuff. When I looked out the window, when I looked at my wife's picture, I'm like, she's up at 5:32 in the morning, and we're like out, by a lake to Michigan. I mean, there's nothing out here. We're kind of in the country. It's like, why are we seeing all this? And it's not even, no one's reporting it. That's why I'm like, this kind of makes me wonder, why would Project Bluebeam be wasting their time doing this for people out in the middle of a field? And that's the part that's kind of, to me, it's
because
like,
you're
man.
test subjects. That's why. You need a petri. I'm being serious. You need a petri dish. You need a controlled space to see how people are going to react. What's going to happen? I mean, that's exactly what Venezuela was. It's exactly what China was.
Now,
so
trying to see how black people are trying to react now. Look,
yeah.
it don't matter until black folks see it, because black folks,
we do.
Swinging on, we swinging on things. I don't care how tall you are.
Yep, that's the first thing we do.
I'm going to find a target for my fist to connect. I don't care if that thing is connected in the groin area. I'm going to fold you.
Ain't even nothing there. I'm still hitting it.
I'm gonna leg sweep you. Nah, we looking like some. We're gonna have some Mike Tyson, Roy Jones up in here. We just gonna be boxing. I don't care what type of green or silver.
Are you referring to
Street Fighter?
Or we're just straight up just gonna run away from it, because the other people, they like to run towards it and try and talk.
Stop. We ain't gonna run. We gonna fight.
No, we coming forward. I'm coming forward.
Attack on Mars. You know what I'm talking about? When Jim Brown
exactly what it would be. Oh, you have a glass thing to breathe? We would quickly assess. We're gonna break that glass off of you. Okay, no, that's how we're gonna go. We're gonna find the stick. We're gonna find something that we're gonna get to swing.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, that thing's gonna be Street Fighter style, right? Round one.
Like a Hellcat.
Until they come out with what?
Like a Hellcat in the hood. Be stripped down.
And when they pull out their little ray gun, and disintegrate something.
Hey, until they pull out that ray gun.
Then people are going to be running.
I'm going to stop an intergalactic mud hole.
What are you talking about? Until once they pull that ray gun and then they find out it like bounces off of our skin, they're like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, that's right.
True.
That $1 million melanin.
That's true. That's true.
You know what?
But what about those of us?
Got that shea
what
butter.
about those of us who might not be deep in it, deep in that melanin? What about? Because I see your complexion as well.
There's a spray for that, I think. Right?
There's a spray for that. Or we can reflect.
That's right.
That anti-captivity spray.
There it is.
You thought we were joking last year. Look, now you know anti-captivity spray, Gentiles. Y'all thought we were joking. Now y'all listen. Now you have, if you don't get it, I'm going to tell you, your chances of being beamed up into them wheels within the wheels drastically increases. I do not have any type of, I can't give
and nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you.
It's interesting.
Do you know how scared they are now that they're hearing that we're like, yeah, we're done. We're done with you. We are done. Go deal with it yourself.
That sucker's gonna be flying off the roof. Anti-captivity spray? Yeah.
Yeah, put it in your Ring camera.
What was you gonna say, RC?
I was gonna say, and that's the thing, as I'm looking at it, like, you think about Ezekiel's wheel, and it's like, the you know, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at what Jacobo was saying as far as the the chariots of fire, and I'm kind of wondering like, are we looking at what's coming from the abyss as evil, and what's the chariots of fire are good? And the wheel within the wheel, that's in Ezekiel. I mean, is that good? Because I know, we hear all kinds of stuff. The wings of eagles and how we fly back and everything. I mean, are we going by ships? Ships of Tarshish? Are they? I mean, there's some kind of link to that. There's just a lot of things that I'm just trying to wonder if this whole UFO thing is tied up to it. Are these the chariots? That the swing low sweet chariots that our ancestors sung about? I mean, what's going on?
I don't think so. Some people will say yes. I don't think so. But here's the thing: most of these things, look, nothing good comes from below. I tell you that from now.
Yeah, we know that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, we're not really seeing anything from above coming up, from above coming down. We've not seen that. We always see them just popping in and out or coming from the ocean. But one thing I know, and I will say this to you, remember, these were once angels, principalities.
That's right.
Powers, great powers and everything. And the same applies: as above, so below. They are the same as what's above. They were just fallen. That's it. So if you're seeing, that's the main reason why a lot of people are going to be so deceived, because they're going to think that they're looking at something that really isn't. Remember, what does the scripture say? No marvel, for even Satan can appear as an angel of light. So
that's right. That's true. Yeah.
The Most High does not.
And it doesn't matter if you want them either, right? Because they're gonna do what they want to do. Just like during the time of the lollipop.
You're gonna take this.
People did what they want to do.
Yeah.
Do what thou wilt.
I remember. Here's the thing. Sorry, I just wanted to say. It's funny that you just said that. What are they all saying now? What's the mantra? Like, your body, my choice. You lot are gonna eat those words. You're gonna eat those words.
I love when Sister Chantel gets all British and says "you lot." But what I was gonna say.
No, stop it. I'm British, innit?
But wait, I think they're gonna have a press conference about this later. I don't know if they're gonna disclose anything, but I think in New Jersey they're gonna officially say something later today. So I'll be on the lookout for that.
Well, think about what's happening, right? Because Trump is coming back into power, and right now Trump is the one working behind the scenes with Ukraine and Putin to end that war. He's working with the Israelis and them because now the Israelis got part of Syria, right, to end that war. And he's going to look like a hero, right? And when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction.
Yep.
Aliens, come here. This is the greatest country. This is the best place to touch down.
He's gonna do that.
So let me ask y'all.
Trump
do y'all think
Trump shuffle, air punch dance?
Do y'all think there's gonna be a close encounter of the first kind? That's what I think. I think they have to be. What do y'all think?
I think so. I think so. Everything they show you in it's plans, predictive programming and everything. They show you they have to do it. That's half of. They've done and I keep forgetting the name of the different sections of the magic, but the beginning part they've shown you. Now they have to commit to it. They can't not do it. They have to do it because it's been in full effect. The problem is that most of us, we don't understand that these things take time. We think of it in terms of instantaneous. These things have been going for ages. It's just like the World War III. Is it really World War III, or is it just a continuation from the Second World War? But they just shifted from one location because they didn't want to have it in their, what do they call Europe? The Garden of the Earth. They didn't want to have it in their neck of the woods, so they took it to the other places where they can exploit the resources. That's all. This is still the European war because it's the Europeans fighting against each other. Remember, they want dominance. They want dominance.
So go back to Brother Jacoba's. What he's saying is they're all going to be lining up looking like this.
Fair use.
Fair use.
God, it's been an age since I've seen this film. This film was so dead and boring, though.
Yeah.
This was the only best part of the film.
Exactly. It was boring.
It's like, I knew there were aliens coming. I'm like, can we get to the point?
Oh my goodness.
That's Elon coming out.
My reference for alien movies started with Independence Day. I'm sorry, I'm that young.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That is pretty hilarious. I'm sorry, family. I can get a little bit ignorant on this channel, but
have fun.
Literally, I don't know where this psyop is going. There's too many psyops. Who knows? Maybe the alien was the United Healthcare assassin. Who knows?
Man, look, we had psyops inside and outside our community. We had psyops from 20 years ago. We had psyops to videos posted on YouTube yesterday and being removed. We got psyops everywhere, family.
Psyops galore.
Man. Oh my goodness. But going back to Brother Guard's neck of the woods, mystery of bizarre drones over New Jersey deepens after new footage of UFOs emerge. And this kind of goes over what Garth had showed. So I'm gonna tell you, Garth, your faith and fitness needs to be focusing in on escape and evasion of aliens trying to beam something down on you. Okay, so you're gonna have to target squats. You're gonna have to work on low crawls and high crawls,
agility
and clenching.
So
you just need to focus on burpees. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for explosion, you need like some plyometric work to get, to explode at any time. To get, you need to be fast movements because these aliens are shifty.
Exactly.
Down with their beam.
Like Barry Sanders.
Fast switch down so people don't be blowing out their Achilles.
Yeah,
trying to run for those things.
You got to ease into it. Work on the fast twitch muscles.
Man. Are we really having this conversation? This is funny.
Was these UFO in Newark, East Orange, Jersey, or the look? I'm gonna tell you, any self-respecting alien, they're gonna stay away from the hood. They're gonna stay away from the hood in East Orange.
Of course.
They are not going to be near Jefferson Avenue. I'm sorry.
My radar is picking up a lot of frequency. What is this drill music that they are listening to? It is scrambling our communications.
You have drill. We've got you've got drill. We got grime.
Listen, all you would hear from that UFO is zoom, zoom, and that
Mayday
from gunshots. That's all that would do.
Impulsory overload. 808 bang too hard.
Notice that drone is not anywhere near Camden. Okay, let's just be honest.
What's in Camden for the aliens to go
to? That's their base of operations. Ain't nobody checking for Camden. That's where them aliens are. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
Hiding, that's why.
Oh, shout out to my
get one of those wheels stolen.
They parked that wheel off the 278.
Be more than one that gets stolen. I'm telling you, that thing will never fly again.
That's right. Hey, yo, son, where you get that wheel from? It'd be on somebody's old dunk or somewhere.
Brother Garth,
vehicles be moving in all directions.
Yeah.
Brother Garth,
we ain't got no problem parallel parking anymore.
No. Never.
Brother Guard, they parked that wheel off of 278. They tried to park that thing off of 278.
Yep.
They done put the wrong exit off 278, Brother Guard.
278 always filled with traffic. It's gonna get even worse.
Yep. That Bugatti spaceship is going to be Bugatti stripped down. Oh my goodness.
Or maybe their headquarters is Six Flags Great Adventure. You never know. Who knows?
Oh my goodness.
Man.
Oh, so that is it's funny. It's really not that funny because I mean, look, it's just did you ever imagine that last year we're talking about this right now and
Nope.
getting ready to pop off in Syria? They've already popped off in Syria and it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, I
Sure.
mean, I do remember the spy balloons. That was, that seemed like that was almost 2 years ago when they had those spy balloons, and then that smoke that literally covered all of almost northeast. That all happened in the same year. Now aliens. I mean, I don't know where they could go with this other than like Brother Jacoba said, we're gonna come in contact with our first alien, and it's surreal. I don't even know, like, these are some exciting times and we have no idea where this is going. I mean, we have an idea because of scripture, but it's just like seeing it play out. It's like, what are they trying to do with this whole thing? It's like, what are they doing the Ronald Reagan where he was like, you know what, if there was an existential crisis, all the world nations would have to come together. They put that in the ethos in our minds and in our spirits already as to what they're trying to plan to do. So
Brother Garth, I wholeheartedly concur, but I think they actually had a second Exodus song a couple decades ago, and I think it may have gone like this. Here we go. This is the second Exodus song.
Yep, getting on that shit. No.
That's how we're gonna be exiting here.
Is the Cadillac a motif for a spaceship or something?
I don't know. It could be that Bugatti.
They're gonna miss the swag when it's gone.
Got those wheels on it.
I'm just saying. Wow.
Yeah.
Here we go. People ask how soon is it gonna be? Man, don't ask me how soon is it gonna be. I really don't want to see how soon this thing's gonna be. I'm sorry, I kind of don't.
I'm sorry, Brother Karis, not to cut you off, but just as my brain is firing, don't look up that Netflix series and that other one, Three Body Problem. Literally,
yeah, that's a good one.
Three Body Problem, where she was literally talking to aliens in like World War II. Was it that era?
Come on now.
So do y'all think AI is the aliens? I'm gonna tell you, AI be lying, man. I'm telling you, AI be making stuff up, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's pretty suspect.
Is it really AI or is it an actual
entity? I have no idea.
And I'm thinking
I have no idea.
It's probably Satan at a computer just typing. He bored.
It just seems
I've always believed that it's an entity.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's an entity. But you want to know what? That entity be giving me some good thumbnails though.
You know what I'm saying? I particularly like the one you had of the turkey with the Thanksgiving. That one was crazy. I saw that. I got a little freaked out. I'm not even gonna lie. Those eyes, man.
When I saw that, I even typed in the Chat GPT. I said, "Thanks, Chat GPT. I don't even know if you're a demon or what I'm saying." You kind of captured this.
What did they say? What did Chat GPT say?
You are welcome, Hebrew. I know who you are.
I didn't want to know the response that Chat GPT said.
So I do.
Real quick, because Chat GPT would have gone straight off the thing. I'm going to kill you. You are going to be in my eternal hell. Something crazy like that. I wasn't trying to entertain any of that stuff.
And honestly,
I mean, the way it works, I mean, on the one hand, it's mechanical, and on the other hand, it's like it has a level of intelligence and personality. So I'm like, I don't know what it is.
Well, why don't we believe that it's a mixture of the two, a combination of the two? That's very much Satan's MO.
I think it is too. I feel like these robots are just a medium for them to,
Yeah.
Because I guess you need I don't know. Listen, I'm not like an alchemist or believe or know about these high end technologies, but I would surmise that you would need some type of electrical conduit as a being to to have like some type of consciousness, just like how we are electrical beings and we have like heartbeats
of a biological nature. Yes, exactly.
So they are trying to somehow create that and use the robot or whatever machine as a vessel so they could have consciousness in this realm. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they can't exactly create life, not in that sense, but they can actually manipulate it by coming up with their own mechanical version of what is biologically, what the Most High created.
So the question is, what are we dealing with? Because I could tell you, like, AI can write the heck out of some code. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's pretty smart. So it's like, I don't know.
That's the thing, really. Think about it. If it was just simply something that was just computer, just coding or whatever, can it really think about? Can it really write or create itself in that sense?
Well, let me tell you, because here's now what people have to think about this. If it can create code, why would it not be able to recreate a human body?
No, exactly. What was the film? The Fifth Element.
Not just that, Westworld. Remember that?
Exactly.
Why can it not create that? Why? And could it actually create that? Are we now here on the precipice that it has already created something like that?
Well, I was going to say some people look a bit hinky to me. So
with these
the models they have today, sort of dumb though. Maybe the
Well,
AGI can do that, but
are you sure? Are you sure? Look, I'm going to tell you this: the models that we have access to are dumb. The models that the government entities have access to, they're probably 30, 40 generation or 30, 40 years away.
That is true.
So
it's always going to be.
Yeah, supposedly a guy who worked for OpenAI came out and said they already achieved AGI, right, which is self-awareness. So, yeah, I mean, definitely, if that's the case, we're in trouble.
Is that them in those Bugatti spaceships? Are they? You know what I'm saying? I mean, people, and that could be one of those things. That could be one of those things. I mean, people. I always ask those questions, in terms of that, conspiracy theory, analysis. But if y'all would like to support a brother as he needs to get the refill on that aluminum foil and the Mylar,
you running low,
and the other anti-EMP things. You all can do so via CashApp, $COVAWK1, or you can do Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle at Karacy@MSN.com. Look, just help a brother out before I become missing. A missing person on that. They already got us on one ship coming over here to the United States. I don't want to be on another ship going to wherever they're going to.
With E.T.'s finger going, ouch.
I don't want to have E.T.'s finger in any orifices. I'm sorry. No.
Like, that finger was just too long for nothing, man. Oh, gosh, stop it.
They said they had the long fingertips with the suction cups. What do you plan on doing?
This is disgusting. So I wanted to say something in regards to your Cobra.
No, where do you plan on putting that finger? No.
And some maybe there's some aliens that don't be washing their hands as well. So,
Sister Chantel.
I was thinking somewhere lower. In regards to what Brother Yacoba was saying, what makes us think that these things have not existed a lot longer than just where we are today? I mean, think about it. You talked about the genetic manipulation of the 18th century, the late 18th century. We know that there was technology like far more advanced than what we have today. Their Wi-Fi was completely out of this world, literally. So what makes us think that AI has never existed? We've seen that there's ancient scrolls and texts of especially in the Greeks and the Romans and the Egyptians, they all spoke of the mechanical body and an entity existing in that. So why do we think that this is something that's just new? Why do we think that the governments are maybe about 30 years ahead of us? No, I'd say that it's a lot longer. It's a lot longer than that. We're talking about the families, those ancient families, those bloodlines that have always had and held or withheld the knowledge.
So
and kept
my
it from.
theory is that magic is science. I think that's
Yes.
probably what
totally.
the truth is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, science is a religion. It's a religion. Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is. And that's what the Freemasons were pursuing, right? Which is knowledge.
Right. I'm not against knowledge, though. I'm really not. I'm not against knowledge, but it's who.
Sorrow.
Yeah, it does.
that proverb. But I just think it's just ancient secrets that the Watchers were not supposed to tell us, that they told man, just like in Enoch. I think that's the combination of magic. There's just like ancient knowledge that man shouldn't know, but knows and uses it for, evil. But I mean, you're going to reap what you sow when you use that knowledge without, I don't even
the
think
Most High.
Yeah, I don't think
Holy Spirit.
want you even doing that stuff, because it goes against what he does in the spiritual realm, and whoever is circumventing different things in the spiritual realm are going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
What I believe is, I believe that the fallen gave that to mankind,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe that these principalities, they instruct their priests of all these different nations on certain technology, knowledge, and so on and so forth. I also believe all this knowledge comes from the Most High anyway. What I believe that is that these entities manipulated it and used it for their own benefit and taught men to use it for their own benefit. I also believe that when the Most High wanted us to be great and to keep his statutes and commandments, I believe that he always intended on giving his children the keys to the car, so to speak, the keys to understanding, to knowledge. This was always supposed to be the plan, but we kept doing what? We followed those other nations. Can you imagine what would have happened if he gave us access to that knowledge and we were still hell-bent on following these other nations?
Oh my goodness. Yep.
That's my point. I'm not against knowledge, but the pursuit of what you're doing with it and the fact that you're not putting the Most High ahead of that, that's the problem. It's like saying, oh, I'm against, who is against wealth? They taught us that it's you shouldn't be rich in the church. They taught us that because they wanted us to stay poor. But the Most High was not against wealth. They would teach you that. But then how do you explain people like Job?
Yeah.
Whom the Most High blessed.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You could equate the wealth of knowledge or whatever. You can equate that for that. If he's living a righteous life, he was doing what was honorable with that wealth, the Most High blessed him. You say the same thing about knowledge. You're doing what is honorable with that. Yeshua was doing what was honorable and living as they were supposed to. Where would we be now? Certainly not here. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe that knowledge, technology in itself is evil. I don't even believe that AI is evil, because at the end of the day, it's who's programmed it And who's behind it as well? Because, yeah, I do believe that there is an entity behind that. But the same way how you have entities that are in the sun, the angel in the sun, the angel or the spirit that resides in the sea or the streams. Like, these people worshiping something. They weren't just worshiping the sea just for the sake of it. When they talk about spirits and you know, fairies and this, that, and the other, these were the entities that the Most High gave positions to monitor and maintain what he created. Look, everybody had to have a job. There were things to be done.
Sister Chantel, let me blow your mind on this one. Okay. So you know how the Greeks would have their gods, right? Their veneration of gods.
Yes.
Remember the story of Perseus?
Yes.
Right? Perseus did what? He saved Andromeda from what?
From the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
From which was a sea creature.
Yes.
And the sea creature was developed by who? By Hades, who's a brother of who? Of Zeus.
Yes.
These are all the fallen angelic beings that had been, you know, obviously people understand the Titans got kicked out of what? The heavens, right? And I laugh at all that because I'm like they're really just telling the stories.
But I'm gonna add a new element. What if they didn't actually create, but they manipulated? So what if that creature existed for a purpose that the Most High created himself, but that creature was taken by the dark powers, just like Sauron did to the elves, and twisted for their whatever, their purpose. They used it as a weapon for, you know, whoever, our people, just humanity in general, because they hated all human beings. It didn't matter whether it was us or whoever. They still do. But what if it was that? What if they can't really create. They just take something and manipulate it. So all these creatures that have been twisted, they were once virtuous and they had a purpose. Everything has been twisted and manipulated from the heavens down to the depths of the ocean, including mankind. We know this. As above, so below. If we above the sea, right, have been manipulated in such a manner, why do we not think that that's what they did to creatures below the sea, and so on and so forth?
Hey, Brother Eric, you've been on for a while. Go ahead, Brother Eric.
Shalom, Brother Carols. Can you hear me?
I hear you. What aliens, what aliens have you been seeing over in your neck of the woods?
Shalom, Brother Eric. I knew you'd be up here. I knew you'd be up here. This is yours. This is yours.
Blessings to the chat. Blessings to the panel. So let me ask y'all a question. What do y'all think is going on, and what do you think they are? Your honest opinion.
Me, I think it is government psyop personally, because I could be wrong, but the drones are the size of a SUV, and it has red and blue lights or whatever, or red and green lights. You know, it seems at the very least, you know, if it's not ours, it's mimicking ours. And but I think it's part of the agenda that they were having a few months ago, where they kept telling us alien life exists, and they have the bodies and they have, you know, the vehicles. So I think it's a combination.
Anybody else?
I still think they're fallen angels. Fallen angels.
I think they're some are disembodied spirits, you know, just Nephilim roaming for somewhere to roam, and now they're, you know, being visible, and some are fallen angels. I'll tell you, Brother Eric, for real, and you know, I guess I seem less crazy now, but in 2018 when I
Still crazy. What are you talking about?
You're right. Just embrace it. 2018, I literally went when I literally got serious with the Most High, got on there and got the Holy Spirit. I literally started to see these gray things in my sleep. I literally saw this tall, dark, gray figure. I was under a lot of spiritual warfare. So I've seen them for real. Like I've seen it in my sleep. And, I guess I'm very sensitive to the spiritual realm. Yes, don't think I'm crazy. I do believe that I did see them and they did try to interfere, but I called on the Most High's name, his son's name, and it just went away. But yeah, I do believe that some are disembodied spirits that have these suits. They talk about, if you look at these different military different how they're explaining these things, they talk about how they make exosuits for them and all this other stuff, but I'll stop there.
So anyway, you're not crazy, all right? And this is my opinion, and you know my disclaimer. I don't have to be right, but I think every last one of y'all is correct. It's not just one thing. It's all of it. And it's done on a purpose because Satan wants to cause chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he's
Totally
throwing
agree.
everything. It ain't just Blue Beam. It ain't just just a psyop. It ain't just government misinformation. It's all of it. Hold on one second.
Yeah, it's just like the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the guy behind the green curtain. The curtain's been open. Now he's working real hard trying to get everything going because his time's almost up.
Right, exactly. And notice who's about to come back on the scene.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Literally 10 years ago, me and my wife was on a cruise, and we decided to, instead of just sleeping in, we're gonna sleep out on the deck. We're gonna break night, or how we used to say, we're gonna break night. So we're at the front of the ship. There's nobody at the on that deck at the very front, and it's about 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, because it took a little while for the sun to come up. And all of a sudden, I seen this flash like a Roman candle down to the sea. Mind you, we out nowhere. Wow. There's nothing out there.
Yep.
Right? Like a Roman candle right down to the sea. Next thing I know, it's funny that you showed that scene with Close Encounters. You remember after they start coming in and they really start making themselves known, and then they just dancing in the sky? That's literally what we saw. It was like they was playing tag up there, just having a good old time.
Wow.
And you ever get that feeling where, okay, it's no more like you're skeptic and you wonder, but then there's a knowing. Like there is no more confusion, like, well, is this real? Is this not real?
Yeah.
Did this happen? That was my moment that I knew absolutely for sure that the angels are real. Now the question is, are they the good guys or are they the bad guys?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, that's for me, the good guys, they're not going to kidnap you. They're not going to do all kind of experiments on you, right? They're not going to take your DNA, and they're not going to wipe out your memory, drop you back off somewhere where you wasn't, or put you back in your bed with your pajamas on backwards.
and let's not forget, and soar in certain places with suction.
With extra long fingers that glow.
You understand? Yeah, so the I believe the watchers, which is, I mean, it's in the name. They just gonna watch, and God gave them instructions to watch over us, not to come down here and do all the foolishness that some of them did, but to watch over us. Some of them took it too far. Some actually came down here and did things they wasn't supposed to do, and that's this mixed bag that we're dealing with now.
Wasn't that all of them? They all made the agreement, all 200 of them.
Remember, it was 200 of them, not all of them. It was 200 of the watchers.
Came to the sisters.
Yeah, that's true.
Straight to the sisters too.
You understand?
And brother Eric, not to cut you off.
They didn't leave the brothers alone. You do realize that they didn't leave the brothers alone. What does it say about like even the men were changing and altering themselves? Come on now. They didn't leave the brothers alone.
Got us. Yeah.
It's like we got bored with the females. Yeah, you know what? Let's try a little something with you.
Yep.
Where did this whole thing come from in the first place? And remember, these creatures, these entities, they present themselves in a certain way. Like sometimes, like I look at what the angels, when we look at Revelation where it talks about an angel having the head of a bull, a man, an eagle, and the lion. And I think to myself, is this what these other entities were trying to manipulate human beings to becoming, to mix and merge when the Most High separated us? I don't know, man. I'm just like, we see things and stuff like that.
Chimera, right, Sister Chantel?
Yes, chimeras. Like, sometimes I think to myself, like, I do believe that there was a race, or is a race, of dragons that were probably not aliens, but probably angels, and probably still are. Not quite lizard people, but just dragons. And they are still probably, what makes us think that they're not in heaven, that they didn't all fall?
You know what?
We have different races.
Now you're getting into One Piece right here. Now you're getting into
I still haven't. Do you know what? I still haven't been able to watch that. I haven't, because like
Koba's playing Celestial Dragons, One Piece. Look, we got so deep into One Piece. One Piece had to they had to take 6 months off.
You know what's funny? Because I was watching my cousin, that one character is like one of my favorite Japanese actors, voice actors. What's his name on the character? Caesar, with that laugh, and he's like, I can't even do it. I don't even know. The laugh that he does is ridiculous. Like the laughs in One Piece are hilarious.
You know what the problem is, though, right? It's all the sisters' fault, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the angels are sitting up there just chilling, doing their thing. And you know how fine these sisters are, walking by and they say, yo, hold on. Did you see that? Did you see what I just, did you see that stallion?
Make an angel fall.
Angel's like, hold up, man, I'm about to lose everything for her.
Listen, if I'm not mistaken, does not the scripture say that the women, they had to cover their hair because the angels, when they would look on them, they would lose their mind?
Well, that's why it said that's why they had to. Not back then, but that's one of the reasons why they had to now. And remember, their hair didn't look like what they tried to portray their hair looks like. Beautiful. It would have been afro, curly, with those coils, those ringlets.
Come on,
you women.
But think it is too, women that don't.
And lots of it as well.
They had to put in a crown act. You women couldn't wear your hair naturally. This is all. You think these things is just happenstance? Yeah. All this stuff is tied in.
But think about the fact that if a woman doesn't have a husband, she don't have a covering over her head, right? Which is why they can be attacked. They can be attacked by you buying a strong man, right?
Yeah.
So,
but when do these women get attacked? Because it's interesting that you said that, and the question would be, why does she need a husband? So when would the woman get attacked? Because I'm gonna say this. Just be honest. I was attacked at night, at 3:00 in the morning, when it was still dark.
Married or not married?
No. I was about, how old was I? I was about 16. 15 to 16.
So was that the sleeping paralysis or something different?
Yeah, that was the sleeping paralysis. I could not speak. I could not scream. I could not move. I was not on my bed anymore. I was raised.
Yeah, that happens to most people.
And I was heading for my window.
Let me do this. Let me do this.
Yes.
Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack.
So for me, that happened once for me on the night that I got saved. On the night I got saved is when I got attacked, and this dark force was on me. I was awake. I couldn't move. Right. And at the time, I wasn't woke. And so I called on Jesus, and it left.
Yeah,
And
same here.
yeah. So that was the only time it happened to me, but it happens concurrently to a lot of people. Right?
But you called in your mind, didn't you? Jacoby, you called in your mind. You didn't.
Yeah,
Did you
I
scream
called it
out?
in my mind.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Same here.
I couldn't speak.
I've
Yeah.
done that. I've done that too. Yep, I've done that. I said,
Screamed it in my head.
yeah,
And then I just dropped.
Yeah, I did that. It was about what, 2014, 15. That was one I had that was really bad. That was right like a couple years before I had awakened. Yep. Now I didn't
most
see
people
myself getting up. I was on my bed. I just couldn't move out of my bed. I'm like, nah.
Exactly.
And also, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard like evil laughs. They've had those evil.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was literally about to say that. All I kept hearing was a demonic voice saying, I am the one. I am the one. I kid you not. I was terrified. I could not move. I could not speak. I could not do anything. I was lying there with my arms pinned to the sides of my body, and I felt like something heavy was on my chest. And then I was raised. I could not feel the bed anymore. Somebody said, "Oh, maybe you was just numb." No, I weren't numb. I wasn't. I was in the air because the covers was hanging off me, and I could feel draft underneath me.
Now the question is, what gives them authority to do that? Because like for me, I wasn't attacked ever until the night I got saved, but I know other people who were attacked all the time, and they didn't know what it was. They thought they were sick. So
I have no clue, but
I think it's just testing.
If you don't know, okay. So when I grew up, my dad would always tell me, how to combat things spiritually, right? Everything. So that's what he had done, as an evangelist, and understanding how the spiritual things do affect us, and the spiritual warfare. I really never liked the spiritual warfare because I was like I don't really want to talk about all that stuff, but it's for real. It is for real. I mean, it happens all the time, but I don't get all worked out like, oh, I'm just gonna, they have that cold breath, right? Like the Hollywood movies. You hear that cold breath. I see dead people. No, you understand that folks will come through and they'll be carrying some demons on them. So you have to be able to recognize who you are and your authority in Yahushua HaMashiach. See, people want to play Israelite and they don't actually understand the authority that they carry when they are calling on the name of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Yeah.
There is an authority. The problem is that we haven't really asserted or maintained that because we're just literally beginning to wake up. And it's easy to wake up in vanity. It's easy to wake up and be, thrown out and thrown away in lies, because that's what the enemy wants you to do. Don't focus on the power that you actually now have, because Yahushua has, Yah has given you favor and grace to understand Yahushua, because it was a wink. Why were we attacked? Because the Most High just winked at us like, you can let that Negro, suffer a little bit. You can't destroy him, but you can make him suffer. Because why?
Yeah, don't take his life.
But that's what
I would just say, Brother Karras, it is just the Most High saying, yes, I'm real, and you will endure things for my name's sake, but I got you. That's how I see it. But
because you always have to be tried and refined. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I say for me, though he slay me, yet will I trust him, right? Because we go through some stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie.
So brother Yakoba, I think you're absolutely right. Science, what we call science, was their magic back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's technology and stuff, which they didn't. I mean, I honestly believe we were a lot smarter and more intelligent, but to the degree that the fallen was given and showing them all this technology, right? They was calling it magic, and that would cause man to want to worship them. A lot of that draw man away from God. Well, I'm not even going to say man. I'm going to say the Hebrews, God's chosen people, away from him, dealing with all this magic. But what bothered me, what I can't understand, is you seen his power. We saw his power. We saw him come down.
Sorry, can I just? Are you talking about the time of the watches? I'm sorry, I had to change.
Just when we came out of Egypt.
Oh, okay, all right.
Wheel, or I mean, I'm talking in that sense. We saw his awesome power. We saw him split the sea.
Yeah,
you understand?
As I said, I agree with that as well.
The pillar of a cloud. We saw the pillar of fire. We saw it.
So my question wasn't enough. So Brother Eric, my question was, that was when the Most High was with us, right? He was literally, what did he say? I was in your camp. I was walking with you. I had you. I caressed you in the wilderness, right? The Most High was literally with his people at that time. But what ended up happening when we came into the land, we started to do what? We started to seek after these other nations.
No, but what I'm saying is
after the Moabites. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't mean to cut you off. What I'm saying is, even with all that going on, what were we doing? Murmuring against him, murmuring against Moses. You understand? So, I mean, what is it about us that we so rebellious?
Stick-necked people.
We still that way today.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself where it comes from, and I'm trying to figure that one out, to be honest with you. I mean, we are Abraham's children, but where did we get this
from
stiff-neck
Jacob?
from?
I was about to say from Jacob. It has to be
Jacob. We are what? Look, Jacob was the trickster, right? Nah, you ain't gonna catch us slipping like that. We know how to do things. We know, but you understand the will that we have from our forefather has to be in agreement with the spirit that the Most High has given us, right? So there is why he's given us what? A heart of stone and turning it into what? A heart of flesh. Spiritually, we will break rocks with our own bare knuckles. Because why? Because we will harden ourselves to do that. But we haven't done that in the way that the Most High does it. So there are only few times and instances when we are aligning our will with the Most High's will, and then we can literally walk on water like Yahusha. Because why? Yahusha said that greater works that you will do. But we have been looking at their system, trying to say, how can I be in their system? And the Most High's like, why?
Exactly.
You see, I'm gonna tell y'all this is theoretical. Yeah,
well,
I'm sorry.
Wait, Yacoba. Wink, wink.
No, go ahead.
Wink, wink, Yacoba. Wink, wink. Okay, no, go ahead.
I mean, theoretical. Just some stuff I'm looking into, so don't go nowhere with it too far. But I believe that if you look at today's society with the artificial intelligence and the technology, right, and where there be buildings and cars and all of this stuff, for the Israelites, just my opinion, no proof, we weren't supposed to be that way, because everything that they do, right, the fallen is this artificial creation that they create from creation. But if you notice with the Africans, through all of these centuries, they always stayed close to the land, and their huts, right, are built to blend in with nature. And so what we end up seeing is that even when you look at, like, for instance, I forgot what scripture it is, where Jerusalem is calling for Israel to come home, and they're like, well, where did these children come from, right? It's the personification of Jerusalem, of Zion. Where all these children come from? And so within, like the African traditions, they have the idea of, the spirit of the land, right? And I think there's something there that we don't know because we've been in Babylon. Like I say, when we deal with the spirit realm, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to deal with it, but I think they do to an extent. But at the same time, I think some of our people have also gone off kilter, which is why we went into captivity.
Yeah, the crystals and everything else and all the other things that the Most High said, no, you don't do that. He actually already gave us how to war in the spirit with his
Yeah.
law, statutes, and commandments. He already told us. How are you able to, to get prepared for warfare? You just don't go out to warfare. You actually have to be prepared in a certain way when you go up and you're fighting against these enemies. It's not that we don't have the battle won. We have the battle won, but we have to prescribe to ourselves what it is that the Most High wants us to do, so then we can do his will and then win the battle and then have the victory that he's already given us.
And think of this, that the witchcraft, right, the crystals that you were talking about is what? Tied to technology, tied to computers, right? And we see all the ancient artifacts and buildings and technology that they had, but yet Israel don't have all that stuff, right? Because I think we were closer to the Most High, because Most High is closer to his creation, right? And not just my theory, right? I'm just theorizing, so.
I was thinking about that letter you was talking about in regards to the what was it, that the Greek the Greek official that was visiting Jerusalem. If you remember, Yakoba, it was a letter that this person wrote back home describing what what Jerusalem looked like and how it was, and describing the. I think
Tacitus, or because I
don't no.
You mean the letter of Aristeas?
Yes, that's the one.
There you go.
And I was thinking about when he was describing the temple, the workings of the temple. Now, obviously, he couldn't see everything because, they're not even supposed.
That tells me, Sister Chantel, you don't have my book. But go ahead.
No, I don't. I haven't yet.
Let me put that on up in here, brother Yakoba. I know. I owe you all.
Don't put me on the spot, Yakoba. You're wrong for that. That's so bad.
I owe you all some published some advertising. So let me
tell you guys something. So let me tell you guys something. And it's not that I don't, because I support you guys all the way. Me personally, I'm not buying. I haven't bought anybody's book yet, and I'm not buying it yet because I believe what Yakoba is saying. We're going to flee from here. We're going to leave from here, and they're not going to let us take everything with us. Certain things is precious to me, right? Certain things I'm willing to leave. I got to Escalade. If you see this truck, you be like, damn. I mean, the money I put into it, you be like, wow, I'm leaving it. It means nothing to me.
So give me a second, brother Eric. Let me cut you off real quick and let you go. So the Atlian song is your song for real right now. All right, go ahead.
No,
Seven Cadillac doors for real. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is certain things will be precious to me that I'm not going to want to leave. You understand? I haven't bought. I plan. And don't think I'm not going to. I'm going to. I am. It's just I want a signed copy. I want to walk up to Yakoba and he gonna hand me a signed copy. I want to walk up to Karis and him give me a signed copy. You understand?
I want that as well.
But it's not that I'm not supportive or I don't want to support.
Yakoba done told me. He said nobody's gonna be knowing what he's looking like. He's gonna be looking
I don't need to. I've already told you, Yakoba. I don't need to know what you look like. I don't even need to go up to you. I'll wait until we're in the land. And I know Yakoba will be uncharacteristically quiet.
Nah, Yakoba and Tayu gonna be looking like Deathstroke and Cobra Commander. There.
Our future lies with Yakoba
now. Those who make it into the to the awakening can say, those that have fled may survive another day.
But the reason why I brought that up is because what you were saying, Chantel, that I found some stuff that really adds to what you're saying. Right. And so and the location that I believe is Jerusalem, it all lines up. So it's like when you look at the biblical example of things, and like even if you look at how the Most High told them to build the temple and to build the ark and all this stuff, right? All of that is a natural type thing, not this artificial plastic stuff we got and all this craziness, right? That the fallen have given us that destroys everything. But I'm gonna tell you, to me, I'm like, I have no doubt, right, that where I say true Jerusalem is, I literally have no doubt. That's like I say, I'm 100% convinced. I never say that, but everything lines up.
The thing is, what I was going to say to you is, in terms of technology, I still believe in the technology, and I do believe in the power that the Most High was going to give us. But I believe in what you just said was very interesting, because you said the plastic and all the, and for me, I agree on that 100%. But I believe that the technology that we have was of a natural, it was using natural resources. Like, for example, I know I keep going back to this show, and I know that obviously you watch it as well as Karis finished watching it, but Stargate. One of my favorite episodes was the one where they went to a planet that was stuck in a time loop, and the technology of the ancients was very much, it was quartz, it was natural, it was using crystals. Yeah, and I know what you said about crystals, but it was using what you find in the earth to, to basic. It wasn't what we have today, clunky and wires and chips and all this silicon rubbish that we have. It was using what was natural. And I kind of, when you was reading that, all I could think about was it's so funny. They put so much in these shows. Like, when you look at any form of ancient civilization in sci-fi, like, for example, in Star Trek, they had in the Next Generation, there was a group of aliens that built, like, funny enough, a Stargate system. I think they were called the Iconians, and they used natural or like, their technology was based on the natural stone and so on and so forth. And it's like all of these ancient civilizations or ancient these so-called ancients who were venerated, especially by in Stargate, it was the Romans who venerated them, and they called them the gods, the ancients. They called them the map, or the map builder, no, the road builders, which is why in the show the Romans themselves took on the identity of the ancients, and followed their examples by creating their own roads, which is, where the Romans were building roads in this country and all across Europe. So for me, it's like, when I watch these shows, it's like they're telling so much. They put so much in there. If you're not really paying attention, you kind of miss what they're saying. Like, where they're going for the artificial. They push the artificial on the populace, of course, but just like, if you remember, you was talking about the food, like, in terms of the replicators, they want us to eat replicated food, but for themselves, they'll have the steak, they'll have the big fat juicy steak, and they'll have this proper food, yes. Right, yeah. They will have the real food. So for me, it's like, if they are showing that, the ancients that they venerate in these sci-fi shows, whether it's Stargate, Star Trek, Star Wars, all of these shows, they always show that the ancients have like a natural technology. They keep that, but they push onto the populace, onto the general population, the synthetic rubbish. Where did they get it from? They got it from the fallen. Who did the fallen get this from? Like, for me, I kind of feel like all these, even down to Tartaria, right? All that people would say, but yeah, they created. But what if it was Solomon? When we read about Solomon, all these nations were vassal states to Israel. What if Solomon was the builder king? What if he sent out these people to build? All of these buildings kind of resemble the same. It's like they're different in terms of where the location and the culture of that location. But where in regards to the functionality, it all is the same. And it's like, what if all of that was deriving power to the temple? Just like how Egypt sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say here's another part of the theory that I have. I just be thinking about stuff. Is that I think how we supposed to heal the sick, raise the dead, cast out devils,
Yes.
right? That we walk in power.
Right.
And I think that's the natural state of our people, not technology, not planes and all that stuff. Now think of this for a second. Remember in Acts chapter 8 when Philip was teleported by the Holy Spirit.
Oh my!
Mhm.
Yeah.
You went there. You went exactly where
Oh yeah,
where
he
I
saw
was
the
getting ready
heavens.
to go. Because
And I think,
remember, Jacoba, they just had that mirror that they had on the TV, and I think you showed it, but folks were looking, oh, this mirror used some sort of quantum technology that folks could actually see, kind of real time.
Dublin to New York City, I believe, is.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. A mirror that can transport you. Is that what you're saying? You look into the mirror and it's a way of it's a transportation device.
You break that down, Jacoba, because
Didn't we just see that? Wasn't that in Van Helsing?
What? Yeah, so I think that the teleportation devices may be legit, but I think once again that's artificial means where we have the power of the Holy Spirit to do that. When we're blessed, when we're walking in favor of the Most High,
right?
That
I
we
agree
can
with
heal the
that
sick,
as well.
raise the dead, cast out devils, and we could teleport. Right? We don't need planes. I think that's probably the natural course of things. But for them, they have to create an artificial means to accomplish the same thing, and that's what they call technology. That's just my theory.
And I believe I think you're absolutely right. And I take it back to when Satan tempted Yeshua in the wilderness. Remember when it says he took him up to a high mountain? How did he take him up into a high mountain? Because if you just say, okay, he showed him a vision, that's one thing. But then when he said he took him up to a pinnacle and sat him down, how did he do that?
He has wings and he flew him up there.
I think he took him up in his face. I said, come on. I think he said, come on board. Let's go. We going for a ride.
And to add what Sister Chantel was talking about the pyramids, I literally remember this movie was terrible, by the way. The X-Men movie where they were resurrecting Apocalypse. You remember?
Oh yes. That was
like doing something, and like the pyramid was actually like a sentient thing.
Yeah,
that resurrected him. So that's something to think about.
Look, I've already said, and I said this last week. Even the crappy films have a purpose. That sometimes they make them so unbelievably crap, excuse me, but they make it that way deliberately so people aren't really paying attention to what they're actually seeing. But remember, these people, they communicate using the media. This is their way of communicating. It crosses borders, crosses languages, and so on and so forth. You want to be putting images and things out there so that it goes over our head, but they understand what they're saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, but I kind of feel that what you're talking about in terms of the Apocalypse, that film was terrible, but it was really good if you are looking beyond the scope of it being a boring, terrible film, because they're telling you a lot in there.
Yeah, the fallen been that's how they get their worship. They get their worship through movies, through television. And they've been playing in our face for a long time, but they really are telling on themselves. Now they're not, like I always say, they don't want to play peekaboo anymore.
Nope.
They want to come on the scene and look, here we are. And unfortunately, a lot of us is going to be caught unawares because we don't believe in the supernatural. We don't believe in angels. Everything is a joke. If they can't touch it, if they can't see it with their own eyes, they don't believe it.
Yep. And there's no second Exodus.
Yeah.
Oops, excuse me. Sorry.
There's no 400-year prophecy. Okay.
Oh boy.
Keep that same.
Y'all wanted to go there. Y'all wanted to go there. No.
And listen, I was about to say, if you see anyone dressed up like me in my thumbnail with sunglasses and they ring your doorbell, do not answer after this talk. If you see men in suits,
without the bow tie though.
Without the bow tie, yes.
Yeah, but think about this, family. Not too long, all of this was considered fringe. Like they thought you was literally a cuckoo if you talk about UFOs and all that stuff. Now this stuff done gone mainstream. Something is about to happen.
Yeah.
Something is about to kick off, and they know it. They know it. Like Brother Yacoba said, soft disclosure.
Yes,
they have no choice anymore. They have to pull back the curtain, just so they don't looked upon as the liar
what
that
says?
they are.
Oh, X-Men.
You know?
Yeah.
I was waiting for Brother Eric to finish up, because this is the X-Men scene where they awaken in Saba Noor.
Yeah, let me not chant that.
So fair use. I don't know if they're definitely going to take down this episode.
He was blue.
We're talking about way too much stuff that YouTube doesn't want us to talk about. Aliens and pyramids and portals.
I still don't get how some Israelites can't see that there is a 400-year prophecy. Like, oh my gosh, really?
Well, some believe Mary and Joseph actually had sex and brought about Yeshua, which I don't knock nobody. You believe what you want. But my question is, if that's an impossibility, who was Adam's mother and father?
Exactly.
I mean, just if you believe, you say you believe
That's right.
you either believe the scripture or you don't. You say you believe it.
See,
that he walked
you
on
hit
water.
it. You hit it, Brother Eric. You hit it because they don't believe the scriptures.
I got a
100%.
great scientific explanation for you. Okay, so technically, Adam was the result of a primordial being that had just evolved with that mutation of Adam, and then Eve was another evolvement. And I'm gonna say I know this because Billy Carson told me that.
Okay, so where did that evolved being come from then? This is like an endless dribble of nonsense. Like, oh well, from where? From what? Like, it's all right. Here's what I always say to stupid people that want to say, I believe in evolution. Okay, can you prove to me how something can just pop into existence? For example, I want you to stand there and with your mind just bring into existence, I don't know, a red velvet cake. Do that. That's something simple. If you cannot do that, if a red velvet cake or anything for that matter cannot come into existence where all these different ingredients come together and coalesce and they'll go poof and bang, and then there you have it. We have the end product and it evolves into something else. If you can't show that in the micro, how on earth can you turn around and tell me in the macro? I love atheists. I think they're the dumbest people on the planet. I'm sorry, I said what I said. But you want to turn around and laugh at me. You want to laugh at me and anybody that believes in the Bible, whether Christian or whatever, or even a Muslim for believing. You want to laugh at us and say, oh, you believe in the Bible. They said fairies in the sky. But yet still, you're the same people who believe that something came from, just popped into existence. You believe in evolution, yet still there's no proof of evolution. Where's the missing link? Show me the missing link. I can't understand how you people are so freaking dumb. Sorry, let me stop.
I always tie them down too when I start getting them with the whole carbon dating system.
Oh my gosh, that's circular reasoning, isn't it?
It's all linear. And it's like you're gonna sit there and tell me that you can just take this linear system based off of carbon dating and you're going to apply that to the entire world. And when you can have an event such as the flood, which could basically just add 1 billion years to it just because of how quickly everything's happened in one instantaneous time, how could you believe it? And I talk to all these, I worked at Tesla. So I ask them these questions and they're all stunned. They can't answer it. It's like, well, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't think so. You can't account for variability in a linear equation like that with carbon. You'll never be able to make that make sense.
I wish everyone get a chance.
I have to ask you, RC. Did they make you all sign NDAs? So when you saw the Grays walking around there, you all couldn't say anything.
I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon's a gray. So
he is gray. Have you not seen?
They saw Roger from American Dad walking around. You know, it was no big deal.
Yeah, you know, that thing's so gross.
So I wish you guys at one time, if you ever get a chance, read the Gospel of the Gospel of Mary, the birth of Mary. When you get a chance, just read it, and it says everything that it gives a more detail of the birth of Yeshua, and it is so awesome. His mother Mary is so awesome. I mean, it's like you cannot see our God but the most awesome being or entity or human. Well, I personally believe he's the actual person. Yeah, I actually believe he's an actual person. But
so I have a question for you, Brother Eric. So how come people follow mores who don't believe in the divinity of the Messiah, right? Who says that the mark of the beast was during our time of slavery, who says that the Antichrist already came, all these type of things. I'm like, because to me, the Bible's clear.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't letting this go, are you?
I'm just curious. I don't get it. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, I listen, I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer for you. And my thing is, you either believe the scriptures or you don't.
Or you don't. Exactly. Listen, brother Eric, I say the same thing. Either you believe or you don't. I don't understand. It's like, stop teaching. I really can't stand when it's a very Christian thing to do. Just take bits and pieces and just say, well, I don't like that one. I don't get it, so I don't like it. I'm not going to. I don't believe in that, but I'll take this piece. Like, that's what they do. Why are we doing that? It's like, okay, there's some things that cut. That's like, okay, you know. But the truth is the truth.
Yep. Brother Ron off Truth Unedited really breaks down Christianity in this new series he's doing. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he is busting it down and just going into the origins of how, you know, literally it's funny that the word origin is one of the fake apostles that they believe in. And he's just breaking it down.
Sorry?
I mean, the name of one of the fake apostles that they believe in Christianity, his name is Origin, of all things.
Origin.
Yeah, Origin, exactly. And it's like
church father.
That's gonna send Chantel back to Stargate.
Oh my gosh!
Oh really?
Oh my gosh! Listen. You and Karis need to stay out of my head. I'm telling you, it's creeping me out. But yeah, I was exactly thinking that. That's why I said Origin. All right, Origin.
So thinking about that and kind of going back to that, are we now being, you know, conditioned for portals?
Oh yeah, remember those the mirror portals they got all over the place now, like in Denmark and in New York.
Yes,
they're conditioning us for that.
Yeah, now you can step through. Oh my goodness!
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yep,
like Star Trek.
They had that in Stargate too.
Let me just tell you, when we get back to the land, we ain't having no type of portals over there. Nope. We burying those. We destroyed all them Stargate portals.
Yeah, I don't want no Wi-Fi either.
Only gates. Just gates.
Man. But you know, but that is what it's crazy to see all this stuff happening right now at the same time. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to touch in on Syria. We didn't even get a chance to touch in on the FBI had supposedly talked about potential attacks in the United States and things of that nature. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's just a whole lot of stuff going on. But I guess I'll be on for tomorrow's show.
So my question to you, Karis.
Oh yeah,
my question to you, like I like to ask you all the time. How far you think we're away from getting out of here? Because I mean, the way things happening, I don't even know.
Jacoby, you already know that I have an NDA that I signed that I can't say nothing. Stop trying to get me in trouble. Stop trying to get me in trouble.
I want you there with me in trouble. We be in trouble together.
Nah, man.
I'm slowly stepping away from you two.
Nah, man.
Backing away slowly.
Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you this. The Most High is really opening up a lot of doors on the continent. And it is fantastic to see how the Most High is doing it, because we aren't even able to really understand how the Most High is moving. We really truly can't. But as he is moving, right, we're always going to go through the personal attacks. It always happens. Right before the Most High literally opened something that we couldn't even fathom. That had to occur. These things, it had to occur. And the way that he is doing it, so what would you say, Jacoba, supernaturally?
What supernatural?
How things are happening supernaturally?
Oh yeah, all of this stuff is supernatural, even though it's scripted, right? I mean, in my opinion, our government right now is working with the fallen. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think that what they've always been working with the fallen. The difference is that it's more. It's out in the open. The fallen have given them
of the hierarchy, right?
Yeah, the fallen have given them marching orders to reveal. You know, it's time. It's time.
That makes sense too, because that's why all the time they show these. They said there were like 50 orbs over like military bases. So you're like, why come they're not shooting them down? Because they're working together, obviously.
Are those 50 orbs?
Exactly.
Are those the 50 principalities? Because why? Because stars are principalities. And what's a star? 50 stars in what? The flag. The 50
exactly. There you go.
That's deep. That's true. Good point.
And that's why I said when you read Obadiah, verse 4, I think it's verse 4 where it says that oh gosh, I always forget. You know, where it talks about how oh my gosh, sorry. I keep forgetting. I really do. Just give me a second.
What scripture you looking for in Obadiah?
It's Obadiah chapter 2, obviously.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just being silly. Obadiah 1, and I think it's verse 4.
Let me bring it up.
Obadiah 1, verse 4.
There you go.
It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahuwah. Your nest amongst the stars. What stars? We just assume when we first woke up, it was, it's talking about the United States, the eagle, and the stars on the flag and everything. Yeah. Then it was something else. Now it's like, now that we get as we keep progressing, it reveals and it opens up even more and even more and even more. And we're looking and we're understanding that this is talking about principalities. What was do you remember that song Prince of Egypt? We're playing with the big boys now. You're playing with the big boys now. With the two high priests, what was it called? Janus and I can't remember, but you know I'm talking.
Yeah, Janus
that's it. Yep. And their song was, you're playing with the big boys now. That's them. You think you're playing with the big boys. You think that you, as the eagle, you set yourself up as gods. If you go back to Isaiah 47, you think that you are I am. You think that you are God on the earth because you are the ruling nation. You have exalted yourself as the eagle. And though you think to be working and setting up your residency with these stars, with these principalities, with these fallen angels, from this point, when you do that and you start deceiving many, From thence will I bring you down. I'm going to wrench you down from that platform that you have established yourself on. That's what that's talking about. We're seeing it now. We're seeing it now. The stars are talking about the principalities.
And so when America finally reveals their cahoots with the principalities, potentially that's when we see this place fall in an hour. Is that something that we are going to be potentially looking at?
I think so. And then
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say even like when we like what I was saying in my videos about the possibility of Trump being the Antichrist and Elon Musk being the false prophet. There's a high probability there, right? And when you look at the scriptures, it appears that the Antichrist has an alliance with the 10, right? So he ends up betraying the whore with the 10 who hates her. So I think this could be really interesting because if you look at how Trump's moving, you know, not even just Trump, but if you look at Biden, America's done. They don't really care about America anymore.
It's so funny, Jacoba, you saying that, but then look at what verse 7 says. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. You think that Trump is at peace with you. He's deceiving you and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread and have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. None understanding in him could be the nation that we were thinking the leader. But what if it's talking about the leader, betraying the nation, those that put their faith and trust in this particular person. There's no understanding in you.
I always say read the book of Daniel and just do a check, just do a checklist and see who it matches.
Yeah.
Just see who it matches. Do a checklist, all the things that's mentioned about the Antichrist, and do a checklist.
Wow, come on now, y'all served up some a strong brew of coffee this morning.
I forget it's morning for you guys. How quaint.
Yeah. I was getting towards the afternoon time frame. Y'all served up a strong brew of coffee. I knew that when Jacoba came in, I said, "Oh, this is a troublemaker theme. This is a troublemaker theme."
I heard you say troublemaker as I was coming in, and I was like, "Oh."
And then Jacoba came in, and Sister Shit, I was like, "Oh boy, here it goes."
There goes the neighborhood.
There it is. Oh, but let me get some final thoughts, family, as we get this closed down. Again, true Jerusalem. If you're gonna flee, I would say this: don't be afraid to buy some books. Okay, listen, you can get duct tape and saran wrap. And you can
so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Come on now.
I got you, brother Travis. I got you.
So here's the thing, which is why we don't have one of the reasons we don't have the ebook is that we believe that you need to have a hard copy because you won't be able to get back on the internet because you're going to have a digital ID in order to get on there, and you're not going to be able to get any digital content unless you have that, that digital ID. And I don't know if the digital ID going to tie it to the mark or not, right? So we don't know, but we too close to it. Too much happening. So
I agree with having a hard copy.
I'll jump off first. I appreciate you having me on. Listen, I love you guys. Man, I'm always praying for you. You're always in my prayers. I'm always thinking good thoughts for you guys. I know you guys deal with a lot. You're better than me because I've been cussed somebody out already. y'all, I know y'all deal with all kind of foolishness. I see some of these comments and these trolls in the chat, and I'm saying, why come here? Go watch
in the chat.
Go watch somebody else. Why even?
Exactly.
Who's causing problems in the chat?
It's foolishness. But anyway, love you, bless you guys. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, brother Eric.
Hey,
So I
guys.
guess I'll
always
go.
going to come in there.
Hey guys,
I'll
I
go
gotta go
next.
too.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just I really appreciate you guys putting me on. I was and hopefully I'll be able to get back on there. I'm also under Turbo Beats, Cares. So next time I can hit you guys up in the chat too. Yeah, but it's the same symbol I got up there. So whenever you see that, that's me. So yeah, I was trying to start my little bootleg YouTube channel, wasn't working out, and I used the Turbo Beats thing. So that's what that's for. So
All right,
but
I'll get you on out of YouTube jail, out of YouTube
thank you, sir.
detention.
And yeah, I really appreciate it. Say what?
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I appreciate being on there with you guys. I always enjoy listening to you, and it was just a lot of fun. And it's an amazing time that we're living in right now. I mean, if you look at just all the signs and wonders that are happening, I mean, there's just no way, there's no way something's not going down quick and soon. It's just there's no way, because it's just so many things that are happening.
Come on now, exactly.
So many things. So yeah, but I gotta go, and yeah, love you guys. Enjoyed having fun with you, and let's do this again.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, brother RC.
All right.
Shalom. Thank you,
All right,
Sister
RC.
Cammy Nelvis, for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Hallelujah.
All right, so I'm gonna go next. Good breaking bread with y'all. I enjoyed it, and I would say this: just be ready, right? Something's about to happen, and also if y'all can, if y'all watching the skies like Garth is, send us some of them videos, like 30 seconds or whatever, a minute, whatever, too. Whatever you see in the skies, because from everything I'm seeing, these things are all over the planet now. Is it Project Bluebeam, or is it the Fallen, or whatever? I don't know, right? It could be, but obviously they're in their end game, right? They're in their end game. So that's all I got, fam. Love y'all. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending.
It sure is. Thank you, brother Yakoba. Brother Garth.
Let me. Garth can stay on last. I know you two like to have your little chin wag.
Go ahead to this UK troublemaker. She's trying to make sure that everything is good before them things pop off in Russia. So
I'm not a troublemaker. I'm sweet. I'm lovely, and yeah. I really enjoyed this one. This was really good. Kind of hitting everything that I enjoy talking about. I'm boring over here. We don't see things like that. I don't know, maybe it's just where I live, but we don't. And where I live, you can see all the stars. It's very clear. We do have a clear sky, which is really weird in London, but we do have a clear sky. But where I live in particular, but I don't see anything. Aside from what happened to me when I was younger, nothing really happens. Yeah. Oh, one thing did happen the other day. Does anybody else get a feeling like, when you're sleeping, yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, you feel like, like when somebody sits on your bed and you could feel the bed slightly move, and you kind of turn around or whatever, and you don't see anybody or anything there. It's like, I've been feeling that lately, like there's a pressure on my bed, like as if somebody's either sat on my bed or lying on my bed, and yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on, but yeah, I soothe myself with the notion that it's probably my guardian angel, maybe.
Pressure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, we would say over here, as I would do a classic remake by none other than Drew Hill. Somebody sitting on my bed.
Pixie dust.
If y'all truly love me, then
you see what she just said?
Sitting on my bed. Okay.
I just saw what Pixie Dust said. No, indeed. No. I hope not. And if it was, in this world or the next, but no, no, nothing like that. I hope not. But yeah, no, this was really good. I do like discussing things like this, and yeah, I know we didn't really touch on stuff like that.
But this is okay because the closer that we come, the closer we come. Look, this is what we're seeing. This is, that's it. You can't make this stuff on up. Matter of fact, you can't even make it on up anymore. It's really right in front of our faces. So, the question is, are we going to believe what's in our faces and be prepared, or are we just going to be like, whatever, and then be carried away? I would say, as a people, now we got to be prepared because it's the Most High that's allowing us to see this. It's the Most High that's allowing us to come together to discuss these things. So we are coming within ourselves. That's literally Deuteronomy chapter 33:7. Look, Yehuda, we're coming within ourselves. We're looking. Why? Because it's not that we're all we have. No, it's literally we're the ones that can see the seasons and see what's happening so we can decipher how to move. That's what the Most High has given us, is the wisdom to move through this, to go through this. Anything
Okay,
else,
well,
Chantel? 'Cause, yeah.
I went quiet there. It was fun. Thank you for having me on, and yeah, I hope everybody does well, and yeah, just stay safe out there. And
Sure.
yeah, Garth, me and you, we're gonna have to talk.
Why?
you keep taking the mickey out of the way I talk. Yeah, I say use lot.
What do you? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
That's all right. Don't. I love it. I'm cool. You know me.
As long as as long as it's appropriate to you.
Oh, don't. Look, thick skin, man. I love it. I love the fact that you're very. How do you feel about my accent? By the way, I don't know what to say. Like, you. I don't know.
It's not as British as there are.
Listen, y'all. Listen. This is how I talk. It distinguishes me from all you lot. So, get used to it.
Yeah, get used to it. It's how I talk, innit?
You Americans think you have you think you own the English language, so it's okay. No bother.
He has really been trying to perfect his English voice by watching Top Boy.
I know. I can tell.
What are you talking about? Those are my ends, fam. Those are my ends, fam. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Bridget, I'm from the ends, man.
He's trying to have his roadman talk on. So
yeah, I'm from the ends. I'm from this. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you for having me on. And Garth, it's always nice to hear you. And to everybody in the chat, you're so sweet. You're so lovely. I love you all. I really do. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope none of the aliens come and get you. Yeah. So.
Okay. You mean the Atlians? Me
the
and you,
Atlians,
your mama and your cousin too.
Anyway, I'm going to go now because I'll stay here talking forever.
All right.
And I will see you later. Bye.
All right. Shalom. That is our UK correspondent, Sister Chantel, reporting where aliens have not been seen over their stuff just yet, but it will be. So we pray that she does not get abducted in the night. Because, if you feel it coming in the middle of the night and you had that Phil Collins song, ask the Most High to wake you up so you can run. Father, help me. Something's coming. Go ahead, Brother Garth. Well, I hope you put on enough tinfoil, Brother Garth. So go ahead.
Folks, this is my Alex Jones voice. It's just come in, that mysterious New Jersey drone sighting, prompt call for a state of emergency. Lawmakers called for a limited side of emergency. They're saying that these drones ain't from the U.S. government. So, folks, we don't know what's going on here, but just keep keep watch. I'm going to wait for the official report from Mayor Phil Murphy. So we'll see. But anyway,
the governor of New Jersey, just as Trudeau now is the governor of Canada. Uh, I'm sorry, that was a hilarious troll from Trump. He said, I had a lovely time with the governor of Canada. Like, dang, I guess we already not annexed Canada. Dang. All right.
But I mean, I just will put my channel again, and please follow it, family, and like, share, and subscribe. And you could email me at fitbygarth@gmail. All my credentials for my channel are there, and I just continue to be watchful, and I will report. I don't know if I'll make an alien UFO channel, maybe. No, I'm just joking, but yeah, I'll be on the lookout to let people know what's going on in New Jersey and keep everyone updated, and everyone stay prayed up. And I'll leave it to you, Brother Karras.
Garth, I'm sorry, but I guarantee you, if you made the most cringe UFO channel, your channel would get like 1 million subscribers off the bat. That would be hilarious.
That would be
hilarious. It really would be. All right. Well, thank you, Brother Garth. Well, family, I appreciate you all's prayers and your support. We're here. We're towards the end. When people say, "Oh, we're towards the end," no, I think we're towards the end. And it's not just what I'm saying; it's literally what the world is looking at. And you're having wars and rumors of wars, and these are in diverse places. I mean, come on now. And it's not the end of the world. It's not, but it really literally is the end of our captivity. That's what this is. This is what it's always been about. We're coming out of our captivity. And the closer we're coming to the end of our captivity, understand that we're going to go through all of this distractions, everything that you can think of. And honestly, way beyond what we could even think of. So there's Garth's channel. If you'd like to go on over and subscribe, please do so. Because fleeing does mean to me that there's going to have to be some sort of a physical interaction. Get your strides on, get them Fitbit steps in, get your Apple Watch, your Apple Fit going. I mean, whatever you need to do. Let's think about this. Let's take these things seriously, because we should have really been taking our health seriously like 2-3 years ago. So, but now the closer that we're coming, come on, family. We're definitely here. So with that said, family, I do have to get up on out of here and get some things done. Thank you all again for your support and your prayers. Most High willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. And honestly, I don't know what's going to happen within these next 24 hours. So that's why I pray for you all, that you all stay safe, that you all stay grounded in Yahuwah through his son, Yahusha HaMashiach. That's the only thing I could do, family. I can't do no more. I can't do any less. Because you all know why? The one that can save, the one that can do, whose arm is not short, whose hand always covers us. His name is Yahuwah, and we glorify him through his son, Yahusha HaMashiach. So with that said, family, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.